Hello and welcome to No Boundaries Live. This is September 19, 2020. The day has arrived, a day where celebration of cricket starts. Now, we take a moment to acknowledge that the world is going through an unprecedented time. The coronavirus pandemic is still alive. And the world is partially stopped. But here is something that has the power to put a smile on a billion faces. The Indian Premier League 2020 edition is here. I am one of your commentators for the day, Prakash Wadhwa, and we are here at No Boundaries live for the day as I welcome my fellow commentators, Aaron Kumar, who is joining us from London, UK. We have Sapan Dolakia from India. Welcome, guys.
Hi, Prakash. Good to be with you.
Great to be here. Welcome, Aaron. Hello, Sapan.
Yeah, hi, Prakash. Hi. Good to have you guys back.
Absolutely. And it's great to be here talking live on an IPL game. So it's a big day. The competition can't be bigger. It's Mumbai Indians versus the Chennai Super Kings, four-time champions versus three-time IPL winners. Two teams who have combined have taken more than half of the IPL tournaments. So let's catch the action in the fifth over of the day. It's 46 for no loss. Mumbai Indians, Chennai Super Kings, Mahendra Singh Dhoni. A big emotional day for all of us as he steps back on the field first time after the semi-final in 2019. So it's fifth over, 46 for no loss, Mumbai Indians. And seems like Mumbai Indians and their batsmen have never been away from the game all these months. What do you say, guys?
Yeah,
Go ahead. Sorry, Sapan.
yeah. So it's swashbuckling start. Absolutely. Like as you say, it's like they are never out of the cricket arena. Like it's like they are going all guns blazing, and the initial swing, which was predicted when that pitch report and everything was being analyzed, we were hoping that the fast bowlers of Lungi Angiri, Sam Curran, Deepak Chahar will be able to expose the wicket, but it's other way around.
Yeah, absolutely agree with that.
Yeah.
It's been a really swashbuckling start. As you said, Prakash, you wouldn't think these guys have been away from this stage for so long. Rohit Sharma, first ball of the game, crunching shots with the offside, and De Kock now has looked in fantastic form. So, yeah, great start to the IPL.
And we just lost a wicket there. Rohit Sharma is gone. Aaron, as you talk about it,
Jinxed him.
you just jinxed him.
Apologies to Mumbai fans.
We all did. There we go.
It's commentators' curse.
That really was.
Well, that's our first experience.
Yep.
Rohit Sharma, he was, as you said, Aaron, first ball of the match, perfect timing in the gap, and he goes. This is a different Rohit Sharma because previously in the previous editions, I don't think he has been so clear at the outset of the tournament that this is what I'm going to do as a batsman. I'm going to come out and open the innings. He has been at times been like a floater in the top 3 or 4. So it's good to see the intent, but unfortunately today he's gone just for 10, 46 for 1. We are in the fifth over.
Something to cheers for CSK fans. Finally, after fifth over.
Absolutely, yeah. Finally, something to cheer. Obviously, he looked dangerous, but obviously De Kock's still there, and they've got an array of batting of Mumbai Indians. So it's going to be a very interesting game.
And Piyush Chawla.
Emma is like the late 90s and the early 2000s Australian team. Like you cannot just rely on one wicket. They have lots of backup.
Right, Mumbai Indians. Just like
Mumbai Indians. Yeah.
always, every IPL tournament, they walk into the tournament as one of the favorites. I do not recall ever, starting from Sachin Tendulkar's 2008, and today we are in 2020, never ever has Mumbai Indians not been a favorite at the
The
start.
only jinx is that they are not good beginners. But if they can get a command over that, they are completely unstoppable.
That is so right. They they are slow starters in IPL. That's for sure. They are slow starters. In fact, if I'm right, they haven't won their opening match since 2012.
You're right.
Wow, that's an incredible stat, really.
So yeah, it was interesting that the commentator at the toss put that question to Rohit Sharma, reminded him of that statistic.
And actually, if we remember, Prakash, I know that the Mumbai Indians, they were showing they've won the title some 4 times, which makes them the most successful team in IPL. But it took them quite a few attempts to actually get there first. I think was it 2013 that they won their first? They've won the 4 actually all relatively quite recently, really.
That is true. And interestingly, one of the superstitions that goes along with Mumbai Indians, it's the alternate year. It's the odd year they do well in. So we are in an even year. So that's a challenge in front of Mumbai Indians. Can they prove that superstition wrong as Deacock is gone?
Right.
Sam Curran it is.
Big breakthrough there, isn't it, Prakash? Watson taking the catch, yeah.
This will definitely put some brakes now.
Yeah, you would think so. 2 new batsmen in, and obviously the Cock, the man who was really on fire there. You'd think that could make the difference now, couldn't it? Between 200 and maybe 150, 160 if Chennai bowl well.
Well, Deacock would be disappointed with himself. The ball was there to be hit. It was shot. It had to be placed. It went straight into the hands of Shane Watson. So Deacock is gone. It's 48 for 2. We are in the 6th over.
Just wanted to say as well, Prakash, aside from the actual game, been really impressed so far. Obviously we're all seeing it on TV. The job they've done first in getting this underway, but also the crowd noises and stuff have been pretty good, because we always associate the IPL, don't we, with that razzmatazz, that noise, and that enjoyment. And they seem to have done a good job in terms of encapsulating that here.
That is true. In fact, this is a moment to congratulate everyone who has been involved in getting IPL to this stage. I know there have been times, even when we have talked as group at different times, where we have felt that maybe this is not the time, or there's too big of a risk to do the IPL. But I believe everything has fallen well in place together to make this happen.
Yeah, and I think the special kudos goes to Ganguly, Jai Shah, and the BCCI frontliners, because even shifting this IPL to UAE, you will have to follow the 3 different Emirates rules. So that is a bit difficult. But by looking at the scenes in Abu Dhabi Zayed Stadium, it's it's fantastic atmosphere, even though people are not there. Another thing I've just witnessed, maybe you guys have also observed that in CPL also, they could able to get some online fans reviews, plus they've uh, kept some placards of the people, just to ensure that all the players can feel the environment of the spectators. And this was bound to happen. Like, IPL is known to be a franchise game where BCCI is pouring money like anything. So they will bring some innovations to make this IPL some sort of a success.
Absolutely, and as you say, with the CPL, I was really impressed about how they had the fans. They kind of linked them up. So when a boundary was hit, they would maybe go into someone's house in Guyana and show them, they would show them dancing and sort of enjoying themselves. So that was really positive, to be honest.
Yeah, you're right, Aaron.
And it's going to be really interesting to see what kind of a total that MI are able to post. I mean, what sort of score do you think Chennai would feel comfortable with keeping MI down to, Sapan?
I think Chennai would be fine anywhere around 160 to 180. Once it is going beyond 9 and over, they will start feel a pressure because they haven't the players which they have. Most of them are not playing cricket regularly.
Sure. That's a very good point, actually, and it's good, and that's the thing, isn't it? I mean, we saw with I don't know how much you saw of the recent Australia-England series, where it was quite impressive, really, considering Australia haven't been playing cricket for such a long period of time, that they're able to come out and be so competitive, really.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and they have just proved the world champions that even we can beat you at your own day, and it was a fantastic display of cricket after the layoff of I think they had been played since their last match at their against New Zealand, which was
New
played
Zealand,
behind the
absolutely.
doors. Yeah,
That's right. Yeah, that was just when we were beginning the start of this crisis, wasn't it? And then they just played that behind closed doors, and obviously then soon after everything shut down. So yeah, just to update our listeners, 51 for 2 from 6 overs. I mean, it's been a funny 6 overs, hasn't it, Sapan? At the start of it, a few overs ago, 40 for no loss after 4 overs. Mumbai were flying, but they've just dragged it back quite nicely, CSK.
yeah. This is where Dhoni comes into the picture. Like he's been cool, calm person, and he has his nerves to keep a pressure on the people. So once chips down, he can put a brakes on the game, and he can just drive the middle period, which we are saying is over number 7 to over number 12, 13. He's very good at driving those scenarios.
Yeah, completely agree. I mean, this is how he's made his reputation for years, isn't it? I mean,
Yeah.
especially as you say, games in India, you could have a score that was either par or even slightly below, but he just knew how to really crank up that pressure, when to bowl the slower bowlers, get the run rate up required, and then one of the great captains of all time in white ball cricket, really.
Exactly. So you whom you are supporting? Who do you like the most?
IPL, I've always had my roots are Chennai, and I've always had a soft spot for MS Dhoni as well. Just love the way he captains, love the way he plays. So I've always leant towards Chennai, but there's so many great teams, aren't there? You've got to admire all of them. How about yourself, Sapan?
Yeah, same here. It's not because of the soft corner for Dhoni. It will always be there, but I always liked CSK.
Sure.
Especially from after 2018, the way they fought back was magnificent.
No, that really was. That was a great run for the title because they'd made so many finals. They'd won the 2 back-to-back in 2010, 2011. But it'd been a while, hadn't it, since they'd won a...
Yeah.
So that was a really, really great effort in 2018.
And this is where I'm very much surprised to see both the teams are having absolutely opposite numbers. As we were just discussing, Chennai Super King is from match one. They are pretty much consistent throughout the tournament. Then they are, I think, most if you just don't take the years, if you don't count the years when they were not playing and the 2009 when Deccan Chargers win, they have always reached playoffs with the consistent performance, where the Mumbai Indians are the ones who are known for their bouncing back uh, trajectory. Like that's the complete opposite signs of these two teams.
No, completely agree. I just see Jade has just bowled an over, went for 9 runs. A decent over that for the Mumbai. He's just finding his groove first over. So 60 for 2 from 7 overs. Yeah, I mean, JD, yeah, he's a rhythm bowler, isn't he? You'd think once he gets a couple of overs, he'll be able to pull that back a little bit. You'd imagine. I'll be surprised if he doesn't have some kind of an impact in these 4 overs.
Yeah, he's just playing his part. He just want to be there every time. Like whatever role he has been assigned, he's just trying to deliver himself.
Absolutely. I mean, he must be fantastic for a captain, isn't it? Because he's one of the best fielders in the world, as you say. He's always,
Yeah,
a fantastic bowler, and with the bat, you're going to get some useful lower order runs from him. So, yeah, in fact, one of the best sort of white ball all rounders, really.
yeah, exactly.
Curran's continuing, so that's going to be quite interesting. It is interesting that we've got some more, especially in recent times, with England improving in white ball cricket, because we never used to have many English players apart from maybe KP and Flintoff when it first started. But then gradually, as time's gone on, I think the ECB have sort of embraced it more, and they've seen actually that playing with world-class players from India, Australia, and so forth, that's the way that the English players are going to keep improving. You're not really going to improve if you don't expose yourself and play
Yeah,
with
exactly.
this quality.
So there was that sort of a period when 2010 to 2013 when English media and they were not big fans of IPL, but once this Ewan Morgan and these people who just get the recognition from this franchise cricket, they have all of a sudden they have started showing their interest, and now these guys are playing all sort of franchise cricket. Like Ewan Morgan after 2013, he will be playing first time back in KKR, so that will be again a great scene.
Absolutely. I didn't realise it'd been that long, actually. I remember him playing for KKR, but that's incredible how long that is.
Yep.
And I think you're right. Because I remember reading Kevin Peterson's book after he stopped playing for England a few years ago, and he talked about that mentality, and he talked about how someone like Rahul Dravid, when he played for RCB, how he was a great mentor to him. Dravid wrote him a letter, helped him with little bits of his technique against spin, and how that was invaluable to him. And you think of KP, a great player for England, but actually someone like Rahul Dravid, who he looked up to. And, before the event of IPL, I know we've got other franchise cricket, but you think IPL, you never would have had opportunities like that, really, to kind of rub shoulders with a legend like Rahul Dravid. So I think, that whole mindset has changed. Now it's kind of much more commonplace. And to people who have said that, oh, does that mean that international rivalries are less intense? I don't think that's the case at all. I think we see that. We've seen that in the recent England-Australia series, played in good spirit, but still very, very competitive. And so I think, it's a great thing. It almost is a throwback, isn't it, to slightly before my
Yeah.
time, but everyone used to talk about county cricket, and some of the great West Indians used to come hit to England and play and stuff like that, and learn their trade. I think it's just the modern way of doing it, which is fantastic.
Exactly. Yeah. Absolutely. You nailed it, man. You're absolutely right.
Just
Now this
seeing
guy
that.
is what gone for. Well
For
done.
yeah,
Well tried.
That's a four.
This
Yeah, guys, good to be back. I stepped away for a bit.
welcome back,
and
Prakash.
an old man was chasing the ball, and ball won the race.
Talking of old men, you said Sapan.
I should not use this word old whenever we are talking about CSK, because you will see hardly any youngster out there.
That
The
is true.
bowler is
In
so
fact,
why
go ahead.
it's like two generations are playing together. Like Deepak Chahar, Sam Curran, these guys are young bloods, whereas Piyush Chawla, Dhoni, Watson, these are like old wine.
True. Sam Curran is sort of an outlier in that team. He looks
Exactly.
too he looks too young for that team.
Yeah.
Talking of old men, it's called the Dad's Army. Just a fact that in IPL, I believe there are 17 players who are above 35, and 8 of them are in CSK. So that shows you why we call them the Dad's Army. So that's going to be a challenge for them this year. That's going to be a bigger challenge for them this year because they are not only old, but they're out of competitive cricket just like others. At the same time, they don't have like that external motivation of trying to
Yeah.
get back into a team at an international level. So something, sort of motivation they'll have to find from within as Ravindra Jadeja comes in for his second over. Mumbai Indians at 69 for 2. It's 8.1 overs.
Saurabh Tiwari and six.
That's a beautiful shot. He lofts it. There was a man down there in the deep. He took on Jadeja and he backed himself to clear that man and does it comfortably.
So right now we are seeing two men behind the stumps and front of the stumps from Ranchi, and both are powerful hitters. So this was expected from Saurabh Tiwari. Beautifully played.
That is beautifully played. As Jadeja comes in again, that's a good length.
Misfield.
It's a misfield again. A 1 is converted to 2.
Seems like an off day for me to Lungi and Gidi. First, Rohit Sharma and Quinton de Kock hits him, and now Misfield.
And this time he slashes hard, Saurabh Tiwari, and beats that man comfortably. And Gidi there goes to the boundary for 4. As Mumbai Indians move to 81 for 2. It's 8.4 over. So it's been, despite the 2 wickets, 2 big wickets, this has been a decent start from Mumbai Indians.
Yeah, and one another player keeps coming and he keeps on playing their shots. And this is very nicely tapped around. These lads are very good against the spinners, especially the Indian lads, and it's been there that we can able to see this.
True. And you mentioned, we'll talk more about that. 2 Ranchi players or Jharkhand players in front and behind the wicket. Here comes Jadeja for the final ball. And they gently stroll for a single with the ball going to long on. And it's 83 for 2 at the end of 9 overs as we call for the first strategic timeout. So tell me, Sapan, you are a huge CSK fan. So how do you feel today as and at the same time you are a Dhoni fan. So how do you feel as Dhoni steps back on the field after such a long time? One, and two, to see your favorite team CSK back on the field. Tell us what's the emotion like?
Well, I'm just went down in the memory lane of 2018 when we were watching Dhoni from the different wearing a different color jersey for Rising Pune Super Giants, but in a CSK color, He's always been so close and so touched to public. It's been 438th day on which we can able to see him live, and it's not about the CSK, but as a Dhoni fan also, it feels I'm able to connect myself, and I can see that it's an emotional moment at this particular period of time. It's not about what CSK will do, like one or two matches here and there. I don't care, but it's really I'm very much excited to look forward how he is going to handle this, because until last year he was having a motivation either to retain his place in ODI and T20 or to play for India. But this year he has nothing to prove. He just have to show his class and to tell the entire world that you're gonna miss me badly.
Right, we all miss Mahendra Singh Dhoni behind the stumps playing for Team India. That has been a
Yeah,
big hole in the Indian team. And it's been, talking about Mahendra Singh Dhoni, it's been sad to see how he had to leave the team. Like we would have expected to see some sort of a respected farewell for him or a farewell series. Not that he would have expected that, but just for a legend like him, you expected a more respectful exit, if you can say that.
Yeah, but unfortunately in sports, you know that every legend doesn't get an opportunity to say that you in his fitting times. Like it, there are hardly Sachin's and the Steve O's who will get the last match at their home ground. Like Steve O in 2003-4 series got his last match in front of his home crowd at Sydney, and Sachin in Mumbai. So it will bound to happen. But yeah, if if this pandemic wouldn't been there, I'm very much confident that Dhoni might have played T20 World Cup, at least uh, this year's T20 World Cup.
At least it would be in his mind for sure. As we come
Yeah,
back from the strategic timeout, so 11 overs to go. Mumbai Indians have made good progress, 83 for 2. And we have heard talks of 150, 160 being a good score at the UAE, but seems like this is going to go for a lot more this match as Piyush Chawla comes in, bowls to Surya Kumar Yadav. It's a wide down the leg side.
and you can see this. If you remember, Prakash, we were just discussing another topic as well, like the three big giants who are ruling the entire cricket fraternity. So this is one of the examples. If you have seen CPL, we could able to see only nicely fielded by Jadeja. We could able to see that only Caribbean umpires were there, but this has brought all the umpires across the world to UAE. So even in this uh, England Pakistan Test series, even that the officials who were umpiring was from England only, which was nowadays very rarest of rare scene you can see. So that's another example of these three giants and the BCCI.
Right. It's one of those tournaments in world cricket, one of those rare ones outside of the global World Cups where the world is watching and the
Yeah,
world wants to be a part of. This is something which is India should be proud of. It's their product, it's their brand. So something an Indian should be proud of for sure. So you
yeah.
very rightly said it, Sapan.
So far, we can say this is the best Make in India product.
Absolutely.
And
So
I'm as a cricket fan, I'm following not only IPL but even I'm my family used to shout at me, but I still used to follow this even Bangladesh Premier League, Pakistan Super League, BBL, CPL, whatever PL you say. But the the amount of enthusiasm, the amount of charisma IPL has shown over the past 13 years, it's difficult to find the same in other franchisee tournaments.
Mumbai Indians 85 for 2. And Piyush Chawla is bowling some very good lengths here, which are hard to get away with. As sort of Tiwari collects another single on the leg side.
He's a street smart veteran, Piyush. He's very good
He's a
leg spinner and
relatively
has, yeah,
he's a relatively young guy in the team.
yeah, absolutely. Looks like relatively young.
Comes in for the final delivery.
Very fantastic over.
Excellent over. Surya Kumar Yadav tries to sweep. Ball was on the off stump, completely misses. 10 overs gone, halfway stage, 86 for 2 Mumbai.
So Prakash, you can expect 100 more runs in further 10, or you are expecting more than that.
If I am Mumbai Indians, I would be expecting more than that. Looking at the likes of players to come. Apart from these two guys, there is Pollard and the Pandyas to come. So Mumbai Indians has a very fiery middle order, number 4, 5, 6, 7. So 10 overs to go. And the wicket hasn't shown, it seems like a decent wicket to bat on. The ball is coming nicely on the bat. So I would expect at least a score of 190 from here for sure.
Yeah, I couldn't be more agree to that. And another fact is also like they have now the hitters, the power hitters in the armory. And also, but the good thing which we have to observe is that this wicket will become slower and slower as the game progresses. So that will be a very useful thing to watch. Deepak Chahar has been brought back into the attack, and he has given 20 of his 2 overs.
One of the things Mumbai Indians will have to watch is how much they accelerate and when do they do that. Because sometimes in chase of trying to get to a 200, you can easily fall for 160 if you lose 2 or 3 wickets in a couple of overs. So Mumbai
Yeah,
Indians will have to
exactly.
pace their acceleration here.
This is a very nice poll which has been just arise. Which CSK spinner will finish with the most wickets and most, so because the very successful tournament has been ended for Imran Tahir for Guyana Amazon Warriors, and interesting to see that he has been left out for the first match. Steady partnership, 39 of 32 balls.
It's just
So
getting to that stage where one of these would like to get a move on.
yeah, I think they are waiting for Piyush to finish his quota of 4 overs because he's bowling very intelligently. That was a good ball.
So what kind of score are you expecting CSK to get or Mumbai Indians to get here, Sapan?
Well, I'm looking at around about 185 to 200 between that margin, and it will be tough. It will be tough for CSK to chase that. Like anything, as I was discussing with Aaron as well. It will be a little bit difficult for these guys because they are not playing consistently across. Oh, that's very smartly bowled, but he has taken 2 runs. That too against the armory of Faf du Plessis. And I was just thinking that here CSK must have lost a couple of tricks. Like they should have brought Centenaire in place of Deepak Chahar, or maybe sorry, Sam Curran, because you can get the same variety of batting from Centenaire, and we have seen that in the CPL as well, that he can able to smash the ball, and he is doing that consistently and learning it very well. Short of the length ball, pulled away, and that's
You have a valid point there with Mitchell Santner. It just comes down to what MS Dhoni and CSK thought is needed on this wicket. They have gone with Sam Curran, who has done decent so far in this match. 3 overs, 1 for 18.
yeah, absolutely.
It's Engidi who hasn't had a very good start to his day. Single over for 18 runs.
Oh, that's wide. Tried to bowl a slower one, but couldn't able to control that. So, Prakash, how did you like the new beard of MSD?
Yeah, we are seeing him after a long time. He looked fresh and younger look. So I loved it.
Yeah,
It's first of all, it's great to see MSD on the field.
people have
That's
used lockdown differently. Like that is a brilliant shot by Surya Kumar Yadav. Fielder is underneath it and he's gone. Sam Curran takes a great catch. Deepak Chahar broke the partnership, and as we speak, Surya Kumar Yadav gone. for 17 of 16 delivery. It's 11 overs and 3 for 92 Mumbai Indians.
That looked like a very good connection when it came off the bat, Sapan.
Yeah,
It looked like it was, and it was hit very straight. So my initial reaction was, that's not going to be catchable. It was hit straight, but it hung up in the air for such a long time that Sam Curran had enough time to come under it. Very good catch. Very good catch that as
yeah,
Deepak
from the miles,
Chahar
yeah,
strikes.
from miles away. We once after looking at the shot, I was just thinking it was having confidence, but now after seeing replay, I can able to see that he was also not having that much of confidence after playing that shot.
Right. And it may be one of those good breaks for Mumbai Indians.
Yeah, and that will bring one of the two Pandyas in, the newly, the new daddy.
That's true. So let's see if it is going to be, it is. It is Hardik
He's
Pandya.
Hardik. Yeah, yeah. Had a fantastic IPL in 2019, and we had lots of hopes up once he finished that IPL and when he went to that World Cup, and he proved everyone that he has some guts and he has some ranges when he was being sent as a above Mahendra Singh Dhoni in some of the games. Jadu is bowling again.
The short ball on the offside, cut away for a single. So Saurav Tiwari is doing decently well at this stage, 26 of 20. Hardik Pandya with a strike rate of 155 over the IPL career, over 67 matches. That is mind boggling.
Yeah,
155 strike rate. You mentioned last season, I remember some very nice cameos from Hardik Pandya, like 15 ball 30s, 10 ball 25, which made a difference to the game.
exactly, exactly. You're right. And another thing which I have observed is that now the he has inherited those helicopter shots from Dhoni. So that is also he is playing very well. I've seen Hardik playing those type of helicopter shots very nicely.
As Jadeja comes in, a nice delivery on the body. No run there. Pandya sends it straight to the short mid wicket fielder.
And
We are
all
in
of
the,
a sudden we are seeing a new energy in CSK players.
a lot of people talk about CSK being 1 year older this year, not having as strong of a team this year.
And that is brilliantly played for Hardik Pandya. He hit that out of the rough and played against the spin.
And that's why we saw that strike rate that we saw 155. Here is the third ball Hardik Pandya is facing. Two balls he just blocked, and you never saw that six coming. You never saw that six coming. Third ball, suddenly out of nowhere, he smacks you for a six. And that's why, Sapan, a lot of these big power hitters like Andre Russell, Hardik Pandya, you often see them measured by the number of sixes or a six
Exactly.
they hit by the number of balls. Like they hit a six every 6 balls or 7 balls, which is a very odd sort of way to look at players. But
And that's
you see the
again a
reason why
second
as he
one, six. That's gone even
there we
far.
go. 4 balls he has faced, 2 balls he has blocked, and 2 balls he sends out of the park.
Immense power, immense power. So that is why I was just saying that these power hitters are going to be followed, and because Hardik is in great touch, we just saw him before this Corona came. He played the 37 inning 100 in one of the club cricket tournament, and he was looking all set after that stress fracture in his back.
Very happy Mumbai Indians dressing room there, dugout.
it's good to see now how Saurabh Tiwari handles the things. Like he will have to rotate the strike as as and when he gets a chance, because you will have to give some sort of a room for Hardik to show his flamboyance.
One of the, that's one of the things you have to like about these power hitters. They don't need many deliveries to get going.
Yeah,
They have that capability to hit three or four sixes in 10 balls, which can just turn around the game. And that's why they are the X factors. They can turn the game around before you know it. Because when Hardik
exactly.
Pandya walked in, as we noticed, it was, the game was sort of in balance where Mumbai Indians could have fallen for 160, 170 versus they could jump up to 200. So it's an important little period which we are going through as
Yeah, Lungi
Ngidi
and
comes back. Can he get more purchase in the match this time?
he was one of the hidden success in the IPL victory in 2018 when and 2019 when he was injured. Even Dhoni said that we missed him, but today he looks fit off color. Decent run rate at this point of time, 8.63.
This is an ideal start in many ways. 12 overs, 105 for three. You've got a platform to launch.
Oh, that's played into the gap and we'll be able to take two, if not more than that. Yeah, they've taken a couple of runs. I think his strength is back of the length bowling, but I don't know why he's bowling right up to the foot marks, right up like he has to go short of the length because that is what his strength is. If you bowl fuller, you'll try to extract some sort of swing, which is now not even seen, even though there is a grass on the pitch. But uh, Angidi will have to adjust his line and length. That is a shot pulled away from a fourth stump.
That is very powerful. Earlier, Sapan, you were talking about the wrists and power of men from Ranchi. Here is
Yeah,
one. And he is so much like Dhoni. It was like stand and deliver. It was power of the wrists, power of the hands. That was
exactly.
shot there to be hit, but it went there so quickly.
And it's all depends on how strong your bottom hand is. Like that was muscled through the mid square. Slightly alteration in the fielding. His man has been brought into short fine leg.
Ngedi is not having a very good time even in his second over so far
Yeah.
as Saurav Tiwari dances down the wicket. And no chance there for Imran Tahir on mid-off. That's gone for four. That looked like it would get stopped at some stage.
He's literally toying with Angiri. They are towing Angiri. This is not the Lungi Angiri we used to see in the green colors for South Africa.
Yeah, and the shot didn't come off as well as he would have liked, Saurav Tiwari. But there
Yeah,
was never a
he managed to
chance.
find a gap. Yeah,
It was Imran Tahir there, and there was no chance for him to stop that.
there is a fielder, so this year they have CSK. Prakash, if you have just read somewhere, uh, the internal news which is coming up, like these people are making Kedar Jadhav as a finisher so that Dhoni can come up the order and he can do the things the way he want to shape the entire inning. So that will be an interesting one. Like
I believe that's a good idea because if anything, CSK does not have the sort of experience they need in the batting. Um, I'm not saying by experience of the players, but the the current international players. They have
Yeah,
Faf, they have Watson, they have Kedar Jadhav, MSD. Raina is a big hole there. So since Raina is gone, they need someone up there to part anchor the innings.
yeah.
So
So I
I,
think,
I believe MSD can do a great role there rather
yeah,
than leaving him for, too low down the order.
exactly. Kieran Pollard, he's waiting, and he will be the next one. What a fantastic CPL he had. The winners, TKR, without losing any match. Trinbago Knights Rider.
Right. Talking of the CPL, that event was a very successful global tournament that recently happened. And IPL would be hoping that this 51-day international event also goes by without any hiccups.
Yeah,
So we'll all be hoping for a smooth sailing of this year's IPL. This is a tough time for the world.
has
This is
been
happening in the
Piyush.
middle of a pandemic, coronavirus. But again, a lot of praise there for people who are making sure that these tournaments are getting something good on the faces of people, and these tournaments are happening without any
Absolutely, absolutely,
problems.
Prakash. Yeah. This will be an interesting battle. Piyush Chawla versus this Hardik Pandya battle. Because Hardik loves leg spin and he loves to play against the spin. Whereas Piyush Chawla is also a very determined character
Right.
and he will keep on changing his armory.
And Piyush Chawla has only gone for 8 runs in 2.2
Yeah.
overs. That can all change very
Oh, here
quickly.
you can see.
He was eyeing for that, for the big one.
Yes.
He misses that. Just a single, a smile on his
Cleverly
face.
bowled. Cleverly bowled. That's the beauty of this guy, Piyush Chawla. He has six variations for an over, which is a very, very essential equipment for a leg spinner in this shortest form of the game.
As we are joined back by Aaron Kumar.
Hi guys, good to be back with you.
Hey, Aaron, welcome back, man.
Thanks, Evan.
Another misfield. Murli Vijay that time. On the square leg boundary. Two more to the total. So Aaron, 120 for three. We are into the 14th over. Pandya seems to have come out in the fifth gear. Where do you think Mumbai Indians would end the 20 overs as a loud appeal from Piyush Chawla? Not given by
Yes.
the umpire. And they go for a review.
I have a suspicious look at this. I think it's going away from off stump. Dhoni was not so keen to take that review, but let's see. That's pitching in line. No bat involved in Ultra Edge.
So Tiwari survives. That was missing the stumps. Piyush Chawla it is again to sort of Tiwari. Just a back foot punch for a single on the offside. So, Aaron, I was asking you, as a Mumbai Indian dugout, what kind of score would make you comfortable, having seen all we have seen so far?
Yeah, hi Prakash. Good to be back. It's been a very interesting innings, hasn't it? Because as I was saying earlier to Sapan, with the start Mumbai got 40 for no loss in no time. They looked like they were on course for a score well in excess of 200. It got dragged back a bit, but as you say, Tiari and Pandya now going really nicely. I mean, we got 6 overs less. I mean, they're going to get close to sort of 200 if these two stick around. I know there's only 6 overs left, but Pandya, if he keeps going the way he was going against Jajeda, then it could be a really big score. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see. What are your thoughts, Prakash?
Yeah, I'm looking at the overs and the bowlers that are left. So we have got an over each from Piyush Chawla, who's doing very well, and Ravindra Jadeja. But then we also have uh, overs of Ngidi, who is not having a very good day. So this will be interesting because all the Pollard, Krunal Pandya, they would come out knowing that they have just those number of balls to hit. As Saurav Tiwari,
That should be
wow,
taken.
what a catch!
Wonderful judgment.
That is a Faf special on long on. Almost went for 6. He grabs the ball from from beyond the ropes and converts it into a catch. What a catch.
Fantastic catch, and it just brings Jajeda into the game. We were saying that we thought he'd do something in these 3 overs. It hasn't quite worked out for him initially, and Pandya was taking a liking to him. So it's nice for him to kind of get on the board, and fantastic catch from du Plessis. You can't really keep him out of the game.
This is called a perfect jump. Perfect timing, balance, as well as good sense of presence. I think he's out. Yes.
Yeah, that's a clear catch. Well, to CSK's credit, they have not let Mumbai Indians get away from them either. If you look at the scoreboard, it's only 121, 14 overs gone. So if CSK do very well, they have every chance of keeping Mumbai Indians to 170 or less. But Aaron,
Yeah.
as you were saying, you were asking Aaron if Pollard and the Pandya brothers now get on with their game, they can get close to 200. 6 overs, 70 runs is Mumbai Indians would be happy with that at this stage. But at the same time, CSK also have a chance to keep them under 50 if they can pick up 2 more wickets.
Absolutely. It's very delicately poised at this stage, Prakash. I mean, we could be looking at a really chaseable score all the way to a score which is pretty imposing. So it could be a very exciting last 5 overs here, 5-6 overs here.
Now, Pollard is one of those people in this IPL who have had some sort of competitive cricket lately. So that's a huge advantage for me. A lot of the England players would have had that sort of competitive cricket, but here is one in this match.
From a CSK's perspective, it would be great if they can take the wicket of any one of them very quickly. If they want to keep MI under 170, 180. Fantastic strike rate, Pollard.
Absolutely, and don't forget Pollard was in fantastic form in the CPL recently. There was a particular game with Trinidad where they were playing Barbados in the group stages, and it was like 12, 13 and over, and he sort of chased it down, no problem at all. So he'll be one that they'd really want to kind of, along with Pandya, obviously. But yeah, real dangerous partnerships. CSK will want to break early.
Absolutely. And the first genius signs which he had shown uh, while setting up the score in 2013, when that was the first time Mumbai Indians won the trophy. It was the Pollard only who sets up the tone for Mumbai Indians.
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, he doesn't necessarily get the same, apart from CPL. CPL certainly brought him back into sort of the reckoning a little bit more, but we don't think of him as much maybe with some of the sort of big hitters coming up around the world. But on his day, he still clearly is, a very dangerous player, both with bat and ball.
Exactly.
Yeah, over the past few seasons, there has been that sense that it's not the same Pollard. But then every now and then, when there is pressure, when it's needed, as Pandya goes for a big shot, wow, another one.
That is brilliant catch.
Are we seeing
Again,
something similar again from Faf? Unbelievable. So much alike the previous one. So both Saurav Tiwari and Hardik Pandya just missing to clear the boundary there in front of Faf du Plessis. Great
Mumbai Indians,
judgment. Great
Mumbai
job.
Indians have lost wickets in successive deliveries. First, it was Rohit and Quinton, and now Saurabh Tiwari and Hardik Pandya.
And how about we mention MS Dhoni here? Because this is what MS Dhoni is about. He's not just the batsman and the wicket keeper, he's the captain of the team. These are the kind of situations he like. These are the challenges he like. When odds are not in his favor, leading his team, directing them to fight. And if CSK have to do well this year, I think this will be one of their key points, how well MSD leads. And you can bank on him to lead well. Look at this, like we were talking a moment ago. If CSK can continue to pick a wicket or two in the coming overs. Now, again, I would see Mumbai Indians would be under pressure. They can't go for their shots right away. They again have to take time to settle. So that eventual score will have to take a relook from the Mumbai dugout now, Aaron.
It certainly will, Prakash. And you'd say now, we were just talking about Pollard and Pandya in a potential partnership. With Pandya now getting out, a lot probably, I know there's batting all the way down, but a lot you would think rests on Pollard's shoulders to get up to that kind of imposing total that we thought Mumbai were on course to make.
$15 gone, 126 for 5.
And the Jada spell there as well, 4 overs. So yeah, that du Plessis done him well there, hasn't he? That's 2 wickets there for Jada in his last over.
True. He finishes on a high. 4 overs, 2 for 42. He may have gone for some runs, but those 2 wickets would make a difference in the final scoreline.
Absolutely.
Well, these two have a lot of responsibility. We are talking of a T20 game, only 5 overs, but that's a lot of responsibility relative to a T20 game. As Piyush Chawla comes back for his final over, are they going to play him safely, play him out? 3 overs, 1 for 11. He has been the main bowler, the bowler who has put the brakes on, has kept things tight.
Yeah, it's a very experienced bowler now, Piyush. I remember when he first came into the Indian team, sort of 2006 against England. But incredible to think that's 14 years ago now, Prakash. He was like a young teenager at the time, but now he's a very seasoned campaigner, very experienced kind of sort of leg break bowler. And you say he has been sort of so economical today, 3 overs for 11 runs. Just as I say that.
There you go. Pollard had enough on the first ball. Second ball is smacked straight back for 6.
And this is what CSK have to be mindful of, isn't it, Prakash? I mean, 5 overs to some of our listeners, it doesn't sound a lot. But, 5 overs of Kieran Pollard playing like this could make the difference between sort of an imposing score and a gettable score.
That's fearless batting. You've just lost 2
Absolutely.
wickets in the previous over. Piyush Chawla, who's been bowling so well, comes in for the last over. Many would expect that he would play him safely, maybe negotiate this over, leave it for the last 4 overs. And Giri has not been having such a great day. He has 2 of those 4 overs. But no, he goes for it. Very nicely done. And now gets to the other end with a safe single on the leg side. So, Aaron, you had been following some of the CPL?
Yeah, certainly was trying to follow it where I could, Prakash. Very exciting tournament, actually. I thought it was a really, really good job. Trinidad, the Knight Riders, obviously twin-owned with KKR. They look very, very, like an awesome unit. But although they're twinned, it's because obviously you had people like Kieran Pollard, who's a native Trinidadian, Dwayne Bravo. They were all playing for the Knight Riders, so it's not a direct twinning, if you like. But no, they were very, very good. And then obviously St. Lucia came to the finals for the first time, and they were also partly owned by the owners of the Punjab Kings 11. So there was a little bit of a Bollywood / IPL twist to it. It was a fun tournament, though, Prakash.
Right. And we were talking earlier about it, that how successful it was in the times we are living in. That's
Absolutely, because I think when cricket first started back, a few months ago with the West Indies England series, we knew there'd be no crowds, and it just felt kind of weird at first. We've seen it now, the US Open and the tennis, and obviously now the IPL, but we're getting more used to it. I think we've accepted that, maybe it won't be forever, but at least for the next little while, we don't know how long. They take a strategic timeout now, 136 for 5, 16 overs. We don't know how long it's going to be. So I think we just have to get used to this. Now, what's exciting in a way, Prakash, trying to find a silver lining, is it's for the powers that be and the organisers to try and find ways to make innovative. I like the fact that looking at the seating, they've put the drapes over the seats. It's just, sometimes it's the illusion, but just seeing the empty seats, we know it's behind closed doors, but it just to remind the viewers, it's not that easy to see. It kind of reminds you that there's no atmosphere. Drapes over it, I think, are a fantastic way to go. We did that at the US Open tennis. They've done that at the football. The crowd noises that we've talked about sound really good. So, yeah, I think it's going to force all the sports and the organisations to keep being innovative during these times to kind of make sure that the product that people feel they're getting is not really compromised, Prakash.
right. And all the boards and the associations which have made some of the recent events possible, they've done a great job as far as cricket is concerned. We had a very successful bio bubble summer in England. Um, and talking of all that, I know a lot of us have not been very supportive of having these tournaments, starting them back as soon as they did. But eventually, I think they turned out, the organizers did a good job of keeping everything safe in the times we were living in. So, as we are on the strategic timeout, I do want to talk about No Boundaries. This is a platform which is inspired by the events and result of 2019 World Cup final last year. And we are delighted to bring this live and casual commentary conversation, which is by the fans, it's for the fans. And along the way, we'll be interacting with more fans for their feelings as well.
Absolutely, Prakash, as you say, it's great to be here, to be doing live commentary with the IPL, and that's what we're all about. Since that World Cup final just over a year ago, just really being a voice of fans for fans, about the World Cup final, the way that was carried out. And, so many, hopefully, of our listeners will be fans of limited overs cricket. So certainly there's a lot of conversations, both on the field and off the field, to be had.
Right. As we return, it is Ngidi. And he is caught down the leg side. Is he? Yes, he is. So Krunal Pandya is gone. He didn't last very long, and that would give some confidence to Ngidi. It wasn't a very good ball down the leg side. It likely got the glove on the way, and a good catch down the leg side by MS Dhoni. Straight off the bat, seems like.
Yeah, it looked to be, didn't it, Prakash? Yeah. Good solid catch from Dhoni, just what you'd expect. I mean, his keeping certainly, his reactions, they seem as good as ever from what I'm seeing so far.
That came straight off the face of the bat. Most importantly, it's going to give something to Ngidi, who has not had a great day. He's gone for almost 30 in 2 overs. So a wicket here might just give him what he was looking for to make it a decent finish for him.
And especially now, Prakash, we're getting towards the death. Okay, you've got Kieran Pollard there, who's, as we explained, is a bit of a threat, but you're getting towards a lower order. So you've got to think Ngidi with a bit, if he gets some confidence now from that wicket, this could make him more dangerous in the dying overs. Patterson's in now, obviously, great bowler for Australia. Can give it a whack, but he's got to like his chances if he bowls well.
We are in a situation which we were not expecting to see a couple overs ago. Those 2 wickets from Jadeja, and now a wicket to Ngidi. Suddenly, from being 3 down and looking at 180, 190, we are 6 down. And Mumbai Indians might be happy with 170 at this stage. Let's not forget, Pollard is there. He is going to take more than 10 deliveries of the remaining 22 balls. So a lot will depend on how much he can get in the strike he gets. Say 10 to 15 deliveries Pollard has.
Absolutely, Prakash. It's been a funny innings, hasn't it? They started off, really quick out the blocks, 40 for no loss. Then they lost a couple of wickets, Sharma and de Kock. Then they were recovering. I mean, as you say, they've lost 3 wickets in the last couple of overs. I do think Pollard's going to be the trump card. I know that sounds obvious, but I keep thinking back to that CPL game against Barbados where single-handedly he basically got them over the line. Yes, that was chasing, but as you say, if he takes 10 balls out of the remaining sort of 20-odd, then they still could be on for a good score. But if he gets out now, and that's why it's going to be quite tricky for him, I think he only knows one way to play and he'll keep going that way. But if he was to get out, then CSK would be well on top, which would be incredible from where they were.
And that's pulled away for a single to mid-wicket. So Pattinson takes a single there. And we are ending up with that scenario, Aaron, that we were talking not very long ago, that Chennai Super Kings have a chance to restrict Mumbai Indians under 170 if they can get those couple of wickets right away, which they did. And now 170 looks a pretty far off score.
It really does.
And it also, as Pollard collects a very quick single, dropping the ball and running, it also gives an idea of the pitch. This may not be that 180, 200 surface, which it looked like initially. The ball was coming nicely on the bat as we started the game. But right now, apart from those few sixes that Pollard and Hardik Pandya have hit of the slower bowlers, it's been a bit of a struggle. The ball is not coming as nicely on the bat if this was really a 180, 200 wicket.
I completely agree with you. And actually, we've seen this in IPL in the past, haven't we? When you've got 2 sides with decent batting and bowling sides, you can have these lowish scoring games, which actually can be some of the best ones sometimes as well.
and a much better line and length by Ngidi in this over. Finally, he gets a good over under his belt. As 17 gone, Mumbai Indians is 140 for 6. So it's a question of how many in the last 3 overs. A 30 would be a good buy for Mumbai Indians. They would take that, get them to 170.
It's funny, isn't it, Prakat?
Settle for anything around 20.
I agree. I mean, I think if you look at it, 10 runs and over, as you say, would get this 30. That would get them to exactly 170. But I think almost both teams would take that at this stage. Chennai would be happy with that to start the innings from where the way Mumbai were. So, yeah.
One of the important things about this match and this weekend is this will give us an idea of the conditions of the pitches, of what to expect. Because this IPL is limited to 3 grounds. That's all we have. So, and coming into this match, there was very little idea of what the ground is going to offer, what the pitches are going to be like. Although there was a general sense that these are 150, 170 wickets that usually have been there in UAE. So over this weekend, first couple of games, we'll get a very good idea on what we are going to expect this IPL. As Sam Curran comes back for his final over. Comfortable single by Pollard. As easy as it looks, Aaron, 3 overs, 30 runs. There's a lot that would be going on through Pollard's mind because he knows he is the difference between 155 and 170 or more.
Absolutely. And I think that's why that last wicket would have just maybe altered his mindset a little bit, because I think as long as he had sort of Krunal Pandya there with him, at least one other lower order batsman, he had a little bit of freedom. But, I think with him getting out, that's just changed things. But that's Patterson looks like he's in on the act as well, Prakash.
That's beautifully hit. Straight down the ground by Pattinson. Finally a boundary. Mumbai Indians would be expecting a few more of those.
Absolutely.
So Sam Curran is someone we can rely on in the death overs, Aaron?
Yeah, well, both the Curran brothers over in England have been very good at the death, actually. But both with bat and ball. Sam's been very, very reliable, especially more in the longer formats with bat and ball. But yeah, certainly someone that doesn't really go for too many there or thereabouts of the ball. Not got massive amounts of pace, but pretty much always there with his line and length.
He's a great addition to the CSK team.
No, I completely agree with you, Prakash, because, very versatile bowler. And obviously we all know he's got some good ability with the bat. So I think it's great. And obviously CSK have retained a lot of players. Du Plessis, Dhoni, obviously, Dwayne Bravo, Shane Watson. But what's nice is to actually get some younger sort of overseas players coming in as well, because I think that that's good for the future as well.
As Pollard collects a boundary, that was a beautiful shot. A poor delivery, I would say, on the legs with fine leg up in the circle. And Pollard did well. Get bat on it, place it wide off the fielder. So 10 runs of this over so far. 2 balls to go. That's a nice one. He's trying to hit that right Yorker length, the block hole. And he has missed a couple of times, which have both been hit for boundaries.
But decent over so far, Prakash. 10 already. So
yeah, decent over for Mumbai Indians, right?
Yes. Yeah, exactly. Because we were saying 10 and over for the last 3.
So he has mid off, mid on, inside the circle. Oh, that looks close. That looked close. A shout for LBW. Well, CSK, even if they felt it was close, not given, they don't have any review left. But watching it live, Pollard seemed to be walking across and he was hit on the pads, which might have been in line with the off stump. We'll find out. Pollard is there, anyways. He's on 18. Mumbai Indian inch closer to that 170 mark, Aaron. 151 for 6. And they will be taking it over by over at this stage.
Absolutely, just 2 overs left. So, and I think this is good for Pollard being on strike now from their point of view. Just 2 overs to go. Oh, there you go. Just as I was saying that, he gets caught by Dhoni, bowled by Nagidi. So we're right. That Nagidi has got that confidence now. That's a big wicket.
Out of nowhere. And Giri comes and picks up 2 at the end. And Mumbai Indians are 151 for 7. Remember, at one stage, we were talking about 180, 190. At 10 over mark, when Sapan was here, Mumbai Indians were 80 odd. And we were looking at 180 plus.
Absolutely. Now, well, it's you'd almost think they'd do well just to sort of, if they get a bad ball, put it away. Otherwise, just take every run on offer, really, Prakash. From where they were, that's an incredible turnaround.
And part of it is decent bowling. CSK bowlers are finding the right areas at the death. But part of it is also the pitch. This could be that 160, 165 is a very competitive score on this pitch. Because ever since the ball got a bit old, it has not been very easy to hit, except those few hits of the spinners. Here's Ngiri again. Rahul Chahar collects a single on the leg side.
And this is where, Prakash, as well, Chennai might miss someone like a Suresh Raina, who, one of the best batsmen in IPL history at the top of the order, has got such a reputation for getting them off to an incredibly fast start. So you just wonder, as you say, later on in the innings, the ball hasn't been coming on as well. So the power play is something that CSK already want to try and make use of as best they can, in a similar way to how Mumbai did.
Right. So power plays might have that additional importance. As we said, we are all learning so much more about these wickets, about the conditions. And we can say it's not been very easy so far to hit the old ball. It's a short ball by Ngiri. Oh, that's a misfield. That's a very ordinary fielding there. A regular single, 2 at best, goes for 4 through the hands. Deepak Chahar.
Yes, odd bit of fielding that, wasn't it, Prakash? And Patterson has very quickly got 2 boundaries here, so he's just sort of, doing a bit of a job for them.
Dhoni wasn't very happy with that. We don't see much of an emotion from Dhoni, but there was a shake of a head. Nice delivery again. Good length, very hard to hit. Short of the length. So a dot ball.
The last over could be Chahar to Chahar, Prakash.
Yeah. That's very likely. Now that's gone straight up in the air. Should be an easy one compared to what Faf has already taken at long on. So Ngidi picks up his third.
Incredible, isn't it? From where he was, initially going for almost 30 off 2 overs. It's a great comeback by him.
What a comeback this has been by CSK. What a comeback this has been. With 1 over to go, 7 deliveries to go, it's 156. But then again, the question is, what is a good score? And I get a feeling 165 would be a very competitive score.
I think you could well be right, Prakash, because it's a typical kind of game, isn't it, where you see a fast start and then gradually, yes, a lot of it has to do with Chennai's patience and their good bowling, but it does not look as easy as it did up front. So that's why I think, as we said, the power play could be really important for Chennai when they bat to try and maximise their opportunities.
Excellent finish.
Sorry.
Excellent finish to the over. And Giri, after going for nearly 30 in the first 2 overs, he finishes with 3 for 38. A big reason, along with those 2 wickets from Ravindra Jadeja, that why Mumbai Indians are likely to settle for something under 170, as it looks like, compared to 185, 190 we were once looking at.
It does look as though it will be, you'd imagine, Chahar to bowl the last over to his cousin. So that's going to be, quite an interesting little sub-story there.
Yeah, they would know a lot more about each other growing up and playing together. Interesting, there has not been any 6th bowler from CSK. Dhoni has stuck to the 5 bowlers, even though Ngidi was having a very poor day, you would say, after his first 2 overs. He backed him to bowl under pressure scenario, and he has delivered. Here he comes for the final over. He gets him. First ball. That's Trent Bolt. He's gone. Clean bowled by Deepak Chahar.
Chahar's been fantastic today, hasn't he? He's just been there or thereabouts, and you kind of felt there was always a chance he could kind of get through the tail at the end as well.
You're so right, Aaron. We could be seeing a story developing here, which we might see repeated a few more times this IPL. A fast start, then it slows down and gets harder and harder to keep the momentum. It seems like we are going to end up with something which is very par on the UAE surfaces, as we know. Something in between 150 to 170. That's exactly where we are. With 5 balls to go, what can Mumbai Indians get out of this? Oh, he's on a hat trick. Here is the hat trick ball. It's safely negotiated.
I was about to say, no disrespect to Bumrah, but you're not going to get many better chances for a hat trick, are you, really?
One of those times when not many realized that he was on a hat trick. You wonder sometimes if the bowler is aware himself that he picked up a wicket on the final delivery of the previous over. A swing from his cousin brother. No run.
It has been an incredible fight back though, hasn't it, Prakash? If we think about after 4 overs where they were, this didn't seem likely that Chennai would be able to restrict Mumbai to this type of a total. Single for Chahar. So just 2 balls left in the innings now. 158 for 9. So just 2 balls left. That's 2 runs for Bumrah. Takes the score to 160 for 9. Just 1 ball left now.
So final ball of the innings. Mumbai Indians have got to 160. What can Bumrah get them on the final ball? It's been an excellent last over. Only 4 runs and a wicket so far. And Bumrah swings towards the leg side. It's going to be a 2. They won't be looking for anything more. So Mumbai Indians are going to settle for 162 at the end of 20 overs. And we have seen some answers on what we might expect on this pitch. To me, Aaron, it seems like a score you can fight with. It's a par score to me, seeing what we have seen in this innings. So this has been a great fight back from CSK. It looked like Mumbai Indians were at one stage looking at 180, 190. They had a good start for the first half of the innings, but CSK with the spinners, Piyush Chawla, Ravindra Jadeja, and then Ngidi with a couple of overs towards the end have fought back well and restricted or limited Mumbai Indians to 162. So when we come back after the break, Chennai Super Kings will have 163 to get to win this first match of IPL 2020. We'll see you there. Hello and welcome back, everyone, as we catch the action in the fifth over of CSK's chase of 163 in this first game of IPL 2020 Mumbai Indians versus CSK. I'm Prakash Wadhwa, and with me is Sapan Dholakia. Welcome, Sapan.
Hi Prakash, good to see you again in the second innings.
So, Mumbai Indians have already made that total look a lot bigger. The ball is moving, and Mumbai Indians is all over CSK at the moment.
Yes, you're right. The prediction on which MS Dhoni decided to field first, it seems to have turned its tables up and upside down because it's very, very, very unfortunate to see two batsmen back in the pavilion. But that's the cricket. Let's see how it goes ahead. Hello,
So, here we are.
hello.
Who Ambati Raidu is there, who should have been India's number 4 in last year's World Cup. Finally, we get to see him as well, just like Mahendra Singh Dhoni was missing from the scene for such a long time. So was Ambati Raidu. And he has started very well. But Watson and Murli Vijay both are gone for CSK as we are getting to the close of the fifth over with Trent Bolt bowling his third over on the trot, bowling really well, 1 for 15 so far. And CSK is 23 for 2 with one ball to go in the fifth over.
Ambati Raidu, yeah, you are absolutely right, was an inevitable choice at number 4 last year, but unfortunately they couldn't pick him up. And as we see, he is a very reliable batsman.
Another excellent over by Trent Bolt. 5 overs gone, 23 for 2, CSK.
Yeah, completely opposite statistics from the Mumbai Indians inning. As Mumbai Indians up to a flying start, whereas CSK is down and out with 2 wickets down. But this needs to be. So let's see. This is a very crucial partnership as far as the CSK chase is concerned.
So, Sapan, when we were talking in the first innings, we were talking about Dhoni's position. In fact, you brought in something that Dhoni might be batting up the order. There was something in the media. We haven't seen that so far. And that could have to do with the 2 early wickets. But here is Bumrah, the X factor for Mumbai Indians. Faf faces him, starts with an excellent delivery. Good line, good length.
You're right, Prakash. But I think this is where they have to make a very quick decision. Like Murli Vijay, they cannot give him too many chances. He is not playing any format of the game. He's just playing domestic cricket, and they cannot rely on Murli Vijay so much. So I think the 2018 combination was the best what it should to Chennai Super Kings, where Faf du Plessis and Watson start singing. Come then Raidu and then Dhoni can take a place, which usually Suresh Raina or Ambati Raidu swaps it first. So let's see what happens.
Just the kind of start Mumbai Indians would have wanted when they came out to bowl.
Both James Pattinson and Trent both are naturally swing bowlers. One is shaping back into the right-hander and one is keeping prodigious swing moments. His deliveries are brilliant, like Trent Bolt we saw in 2015 World Cup. And good to see Pattinson as well. Like he's a fantastic prospect.
How about Shane Watson? Oh, as Bumrah with another good delivery beats Faf du Plessis. And Faf has had not an ideal start here coming in at the top of the order. He has a lot of responsibility on his shoulders. But talking of Shane Watson, we all remember what happened last year. He failed and failed, was backed by MSD and CSK. Eventually, he delivered in the playoffs in the final. Can they afford a similar journey this year, CSK, with Shane Watson?
I don't think so, because this year you don't have a luxury of Suresh Raina. So I think it would be better if Shane Warne makes a better consistent starts. He can able to convert his slow starts into big ones. Then it will be really, really helpful for CSK.
As du Plessis plays a very good shot through the covers in the gap. Pollard with a sharp throw, but they come back for 3. Some good running there.
It seems there is a niggle on Pollard's shoulder. We had seen this in the CPL as well when he was doing a relay throwing.
And Sapan will be talking in a bit about your experience of seeing IPL without the crowds, without the noise and the cheering we are used to. As Bumrah comes in to finish the over and Raidu slashes hard on the offside over the point fielder for a boundary. Beating Hardik Pandya there. Brilliant shot that.
So that is the speciality of Raidu.
CSK 7 runs of the final 2 balls. 6 gone, 30 for 2.
This is what they need. They need some steady progress and continuous improvement and chasing the score. It's not that big a score, but it's a taunting score. You can say it's not over par score, but it is a good score as well.
As we look at the final delivery, it was way over the line. Bumrah was way over the line, so he has to come back. Here is a free hit. And Raidu pulls him all the way towards cow corner. It's gone for a 6. So an excellent over turns into not such a good one for Mumbai Indians. A well-run three, then a boundary on the offside, a no ball, free hit, finishes with a 6. So an expensive over. It's 37 for 2, and it's now the end of the 6th over.
Well, CSK couldn't ask for a better end of a power play after especially losing 2 early wickets at 6 runs, 1 on the board. So this is good sort of fight back. It needs to continue. It's just a start, but they need to convert this into a big partnership.
An honest question, Sapan. Does every good shot Raidu hits remind you of him not being in that World Cup squad?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I think the moment that World Cup team was announced, I was not annoyed with the other selections, but the special person who was missing was Raidu, because he had shown his consistency in IPL and previously in India colours as well. As we can see, Kunal Pandya has joined. 56 matches, 40 wickets. Very, very shrewd bowler. He doesn't give much to the batsman.
And we see it right there. Very tight line and length as Raidu strolls for a single, placing that ball on the leg side. What a brilliant shot that was. The six of Bumrah. It was a free hit, yes, but you needed some batsmanship to put it where he put it at Bumrah's pace.
So this is where professional cricketer, when a leap comes, when you are not playing an international format of game, you start playing like what the mistakes. Sometimes you start making mistakes the way you were doing in the past. Like Bumrah has a tendency to overstep at a crucial period of time, and he literally improved on that after playing 1 year consistently, and we had seen that in 2018 2019 World Cup even. But after that, now as his crucial moment, he was bowling brilliantly up till then, but then that final delivery messed up everything. Nicely pushed to the cover region, stroll back for two.
CSK moved to 41. One thing is clear, Sapan, what we have seen today, that professional cricketers, they have not taken very long to get back into their stride. If we look at
Exactly.
the match without much of a background, we can't tell that they haven't played competitive cricket for months. As Krunal Pandya finishes the over well, yet another single, 6 runs all in singles and doubles in that over, as CSK finished with 43 for 2 after 7 overs.
Yes, you're right, Prakash. Professional players do adapt these conditions very quickly, and it will be that is where I'm very much keen interested in the way CSK moves forward in this tournament, because it's one of the team. I think other teams have players who's playing professional cricket here and there, maybe a franchisee game, maybe a county or something like that. But CSK, there, as we were discussing last time, 7 players have already been retired, and they are still playing in CSK in IPL. So they will have to prove themselves again and again. So batting to come is Chadav, strike rates of 126.5. Mahendra Singh Dhoni, 137.9. And Ravindra Jadeja, 122.7. Here comes the Rahul Chahar, the another Chahar brother. This was the time when MS Dhoni put brakes on Mumbai Indians scoring rate. And here we'll see Rahul Chahar how he's handling the pressure.
You're very right, Sapan. This is about the time, especially after the 10th over, that we started seeing Mumbai Indians struggling to get those big hits going. When they needed those, they couldn't get those.
Yes,
So this will be very interesting to watch how Chahar goes here. And let's not forget, this is the period, this is the time when Suresh Raina would have been batting for CSK. How much are CSK going to miss him? Big role to fill as a good delivery. Some turn there. Faf collects a single.
exactly. This is where we miss Raina, but I think this will be a very interesting challenge for us. Tomorrow's game, 7:30 p.m. from Dubai, Delhi Capitals versus Kings 11 Punjab. Newly appointed captain Rahul. It will be an interesting scene when he will take over the Kings 11 Punjab side. And we will be able to see R. Ashwin, ex Chennai player, played for Kings 11 Punjab few seasons, and now he'll be playing for Delhi Capitals. Well, I just went off air when you guys were going through the last overs. That's a beautifully played shot.
That's the class of Faf du Plessis.
Excellent use of his feet. He played that risky shot, but that too in the gap and away from the midfielder, and earns the boundary. Very well played. Look at the feet movement. Absolutely brilliant. Impeccable shot. Again dancing down the wicket. Yes, so Prakash, I was just talking like I just went off air towards the last stage of the Mumbai Indian innings. As we are speaking, Mumbai Indians have taken the strategic timeout. Faf du Plessis and Ambati Raidu recollecting the things for CSK as after 8 overs, CSK 2 for 51, Raidu on 26 and Faf on 18. Yeah, so when I went off air, like after that, the most interesting and the most satisfying thing was that Lungi Angidi, who could able to pick up 3 wickets.
He changed the game around.
Yes.
Two brilliant catches by Faf and in that single over of Jadeja.
Jadeja, yeah.
And then the game hung in balance because it could have been 160 versus 190. And Angidi comes back and gets those 2 wickets. So yeah, you're absolutely right. He changed the game around. Brilliant spell.
And that is what this Dhoni confidence on his players shows. Like he puts an ample trust on each and every player whomsoever he's picking up in the match, and he decides how to go ahead. And these players are also showing back the trust which has been put on their shoulders by the captain. We have seen that in India. We have seen this in our IPL. It's excellent relationship between the players and with Mahi when he's handling the sides, whether it is domestic, international, or franchise cricket. So yeah, Prakash, this is I think we can discuss while this strategic timeout is going on. So far, you have seen this is the second franchise tournament of this year where we are not seeing people cheering, screaming on each and every boundaries and sixes, but still this franchise cricket able to attract people, especially on television medium. People do watch this franchise cricket, whether it is CPL or now it's IPL. What do you think?
You're right. I mean, people are starved of cricket. Plus, I think if we add everything that is going on in the world, as we welcome back Aaron Kumar on air, if we add everything up on what's been going on in the world has been, cricket lovers have been starved of this sport. So everyone has been waiting, and especially talking of IPL, this is the crown of all the T20 leagues. This has no wonder has its own place on the international calendar. So we are all glad to see IPL back. I love the IPL, and it's good to see. I mean, we had concerns, we had our points on other things around the IPL, but it's eventually good to see that celebration of cricket is happening in some form outside India.
Very well said. Yes, Prakash, you're absolutely right. Kunal Pandya has started after strategic timeout. Hi, Aaron. Welcome back, man.
Hi, Sepan. Hi, Prakash. Good to be back with you guys.
Hello, Aaron. So CSK, after some problems initially with the swing, with the bowling of Mumbai Indians, they seem to be taking control of the situation again. That was in the air by Raidu. Wasn't too far from the short mid wicket there.
I think he has dropped. Let's see if in the replay. Yes, there was a chance. Wide.
That should have been taken. So, what do you make of the situation, Aaron, at this point? Looks like
Yeah,
we're
right.
heading for a close game.
Certainly does, Prakash. I mean, it's funny, isn't it? We talked about the importance of the power play, but in reality, this innings has almost gone slightly the opposite of the way the first innings went. You know, if we look at the way Mumbai Indians flew into 40 for no loss after just over 4 overs, and they kind of lost their way a little bit. But here, 6 for 2, you know, after 2 overs, and now these two are just steadying things. And CSK bat all the way down, really. So, you know, if they could lay a solid platform, get a partnership, then I think CSK will be feeling pretty confident.
Has the 50 runs partnership between Faf du Plessis and Raidu. I think game is evenly poised at this particular moment. As we speak, 107 needed of 68.
But we have seen one thing, Sapan, how difficult was it towards the end to hit? So the question would be, as MS Dhoni and CSK dugout, at what point should they look to get after the bowlers? They don't want to leave too much for the end, knowing that Mumbai Indians struggled at that part of the game.
Yeah,
And
I think so.
on the other side, if you look at MSD's career and how he plays, he loves to take the game deep. So it's going to be an interesting crossroad between those two thoughts.
Yes, you're right, Prakash. That's a difference. Like that's a difference between this Dhoni and the Dhoni we used to see earlier, because you cannot put so many runs in the kitty for Dhoni when he comes into the batting, because it's very difficult. We see so this in the Mumbai Indian innings. Like this is very difficult to hit the bowlers all over the park when ball gets really old. So it's different. But as we speak, like we know that Mumbai Indians, the only difference between two batting lineups is that Mumbai Indians are having hitters, power hitters in their lineup, whereas CSK have their power fighters in their batting lineup. So that's the only difference.
Just to add to that, Prakash, as well, I mean, you made a good point about how difficult it was at the end. Let's not forget that Mumbai Indians also were losing wickets in clusters as well. So it does make you wonder how easy it is, this pitch, to get started on, you know, if a wicket falls. So it kind of makes you feel that if you're in...
That's right, Aaron. You were on to a good point. As a misfield there and a boundary results. So this has been a good recovery so far. This has been a very good recovery. Bumrah just diving over the ball. That shouldn't have been anything more than a single.
That's very well played.
Raidu lofts over the cover.
Again misfield and again boundary.
This is Trent Bolt now. What's going on? What is going on? 2 boundaries gifted in 2 balls. Aaron, you can finish your point. You were saying a very good point. You were up to something really nice.
Yeah, Prakash, I was just saying that we talked earlier about how the pitch wasn't as easy towards the end of the innings. And I think that's a very valid point. But I also think that Mumbai Indians did lose wickets in clusters at a few points in that innings. So it does make you think that these two are in now. Maybe it's for them to stay in, because you wonder how easy a pitch it's going to be for new bats. Not only is it slower, but maybe it's not that easy a pitch to get in on. So when you've done the hard work, you probably need to see it through.
That's a fair point. That's a fair point. As Faf sweeps straight to Tiwari on the square leg boundary. We are giving credit to the pitch, but Aaron, what you're suggesting is somewhere it's the fault with Mumbai, how they approached the end of the innings, and also some good bowling on part of CSK. So we need to give credit also to the CSK bowlers, how they approached the end of the innings.
And another point also I would like to make over here is like in CSK, when CSK was bowling, spinners the one who puts breaks in Mumbai Indians scoring. But here, I think things will be changed. Like spinners will be attacked by Chennai Super Kings batsmen, and they will take the most advantage from Krunal and Rahul Chahar. This is fantastic arrangements as we see virtual box, virtual guest box. People are joining from all across the world, just like we are gathering today. And that's a brilliant shot, dancing down the wicket, and he hits fantastically well over the cow corner area for 6.
Fantastic shot there.
In no such time, Raidu is now approaching to a half century. He's showing his class.
And the partnership's up to 71 now as well, Stepan.
Yeah, and you can see the difference. Only 10 runs, which is nothing in the shortest form of the game. I think due factor is there. It seems like bowlers are handling the ball very preciously, and it's not allowing. Yeah.
The towels are out. Looking at the spinners on the Mumbai Indians side, they haven't had the best of starts. Chahar has gone for 20 in 2. Krunal Pandya has gone for over 20. He's in his 3rd over. Yet to pick a wicket. This is developing into a partnership that Mumbai Indians would be starting to get concerned of. 84 needed of 56, very doable in this form of the game.
Nicely steered to the covers. 3 short of his 50. One thing I have seen, I don't know whether you guys have observed or not, but Ambati Raidu, after changing his franchise from Mumbai, he was part of Mumbai Indians, but after joining CSK, he has become more reliable, more consistent, and more lethal. Especially in 2018, we saw that.
So very interesting stage of the game. Required run rate is 9.1. But how well has du Plessis and Raidu both controlled this situation? As Bumrah comes back, he didn't have a very good finish to his first over. He started well, bowled well, but a loose ball, a no ball, spoiled his figures. Here he comes back with an important role with 9 overs to go.
So He will be required to bowl 3 more overs.
Bumrah has 3 of the 9 overs remaining. That is something that CSK would have to take into consideration. There is Dhoni to come, there is Jadhav to come, Jadeja to come. So this is setting up the right platform for those people. CSK would want these players to take the match as deep as these two can take, just as Raidu steers to third man, collects a single, moves to 48. It's 83 for 2. The Mumbai Indians will have to pull out something special in their performance.
Yes, you're right, Prakash. It's going to be a crucial times for Mumbai Indians now. But let's see, like, we need to see, people would love to see Dhoni, but I would like to say here that if these two can finish up the game, then they should keep on doing good job the way they have started as of now. As required rate is approaching 9.29. It's very much gettable.
Very gettable. And one thing we have to note is the conditions in UAE, conditions here. As Bumrah bowls an excellent delivery. Raidu had no idea about that. Bounce there. So Bumrah has bowled well. It's just those couple of balls which went for extra runs towards the end of last over. Now, talking of CSK, conditions in UAE are very similar to what they would be used to at their home when they were playing in India. So these are the kind of scores, 150, 160. These are ideal conditions or ideal scores for CSK, batting or bowling. As Raidu steps down and dashes that ball straight down the ground for 4. 50
This
after
is good shot.
What an innings, 33 balls.
What a good knock. What a good knock by Ambati Raidu. A reliable CSK, an ex-Mumbai Indian. Terrific player.
And what should have been India's number 4 last year in the World Cup.
Yes, we will keep on gutting our selection panel for what they have done last year.
Right. Sometimes it's about not getting decisions right, which is okay. But beyond
Yes.
that, it's about owning up and acknowledging that you didn't get the decision right. Because for in Raidu's case, it was not just him being the number 4. He had a chance later on. I believe there was more than an injury in the Indian team. There were 2 replacements sent.
Yes.
And Raidu couldn't make it. So it was definitely something more than his form and his caliber going on there. So that's what I think is the point of concern. That's what keeps coming up. And that's why we keep bringing that up, because he should have been there. Would he have made that difference in the semi-final? We don't know. But definitely,
Absolutely.
you would have had a batsman batting at number 4.
Very, very well said, Prakash. Absolutely right. But you know that Ambati Raidu's love affair is very much an old story with BCCI. He was used to play ICL, then he was banned for playing the domestic cricket for India because of that ICL ban. Then somehow he managed to come back and he joined IPL in 2008. And then suddenly, all of a sudden, he came into the picture and he joined India team. And he became a very reliable player from then onwards. So he had the potential from the word go, but just that he didn't get enough opportunity. As we speak, he's dancing down and he played against the spin for 6. Beautiful shot. Beautiful shot.
That is an extraordinary shot. An extraordinary player can play that kind of shot. That was against the spin, inside out, over the covers for a 6. And mentioned to you before, and I say it again every time we see these shots. I think as fans of the Indian cricket team, people are going to question again and again, where was this guy last year?
Exactly. Exactly.
Because he is coming out of a retirement. He is coming out without having any competitive cricket. And look how he's playing on a track which is not, I would say, very easy to bat on.
Yeah, it's not that conducive. That's very much his the case here. But he's making the batting so easy. Um, I think if we take Raidu out of this batting lineup, then all others are struggling against each and every bowlers. But he is playing his own role here. He's anchoring the innings as of now, and he's guiding CSK towards this chase, which is as of now looks very much under control.
This is CSK's match to lose from here.
Exactly. And
It's
Mumbai will have to bowl impeccably well to stop CSK.
as 11 come off that Rahul Chahar overs over, and it's 13 gone, 99 for 2. And Mumbai spinners have not had an easy time. Like what Piyush Chawla did was very different from the kind of results we are seeing with the Mumbai bowlers.
I think that is where experience also plays a part. Like Kunal Pandya is having an experience, but it doesn't have that much of say he has an exposure to this kind of situations when it compared to Piyush Chawla. He's a gutsy, street smart cricketer. Smith, a street smart veteran, I would say, but it's compared to this player as James Pattinson brought back. I think Mumbai Indians will finish his quota at this particular moment. Duplessis hit that well.
Well, you mentioned something very nice, Sapan, in the first innings. You said Mumbai Indians is the dasher team and CSK are the fighters. So we are clearly seeing that difference play out in the match. CSK is fighting. We haven't seen a lot of dashing. It's been proper cricket from CSK. Just as I say, here comes a dash from Raidu, a wild swing to Pattinson. Completely misses.
Sometimes, yeah, sometimes it happens when you love something so much, it might get backfired on you. It,
But this has been a fantastic start to the IPL. No question about that.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think that's the beauty of this. I think they have measured this IPL. So from last 3 seasons, they are keeping Mumbai Indians and CSK's opening match. That's very well stopped by Trent Bolt.
Now we are clearly seeing a change of gear from
Yeah.
Raidu. He
Yes.
is playing a lot more freely, as if he has instructions to go heavy right away. Don't leave too much for the end. His past couple of deliveries, we have seen an intent here too.
He's very much understand like his game, like when he has to shift to which particular gear, he knows very well. And he has started playing unconventional shots now. That means I think he might have received a message that he'll have to go after the bowlers.
When we see 60, nearly 60, needed of 6 overs, on one hand, it looks like uh, something straightforward in T20s. But from what we have seen in the first innings, I think there's still a little question mark in my head how easy that is here. And Chennai Super Kings will show us that.
Well, definitely, you've raised a very nice topic here. Like this will be very crucial because this is where the game changed in the first innings, and we are at the same point of time where things may go here and there. CSK can lose wickets, CSK can lose passions, and who knows? But whatever we have seen as of now, from while these two are batting, like Faf Duplessis, you can see he has played a second fiddle to this partnership, and in no time this has been reached to 98. My goodness, brilliantly played, but straight to the fielder. So 6 overs to go, 58 needed, 2 405, and it's time for the last strategic timeout of the first game of 13th edition of Dream 11 Indian Premier League 2020.
Well, talking of Raidu, he has looked just flawless today. Because last year's IPL, that's really when we saw him. Uh, he was sort of struggling, and that might have played a role in him not being in the World Cup team after the IPL.
Yeah, but see, there was a different situation. Like there was a dilemma whether Raidu should open the innings. He should not open the innings because in 2018, when he started opening the innings, there was a different situation because Faf Duplessis was injured and Murli Vijay was out of sorts. So the obvious choice was Ambati Raidu, and he did grab that opportunity with both the hands. And whereas in 2019, because Duplessis was available and he was the obvious choice because he has been the regular feature of CSK, so that was quite an obvious reason why he cannot bat at number uh, 4 because Raidu has been playing on in that position for Mumbai Indians prior to 2018. So that is why they were chopping and changing his positions, which ultimately didn't came out very well because he was struggling. We saw only few innings where he could able to manage and show his real class.
Just as you say that, we have someone joining us from Ranchi, Robin Rounder. He's a big CSK fan, and it's a privilege, Robin, to have you here.
Yeah, thanks, Prakash. It's very nice to talk with you again. So
Yeah, we are watching and commentating on the game, and I'm glad you're able to join us from hometown of Mahendra Singh Dhoni. So you
yeah,
must be a happy man right now. CSK
yeah,
doing.
yeah. So
It
yeah,
didn't look
so
very good an hour ago when they started, but they seem to be doing better now.
yeah, so that's where the experience comes in. So yeah, hoping for the best.
Yeah, I
And
believe it will take something really magical from someone at Mumbai Indians to pull this back.
yeah, I'm still scared of Bumrah, but things look good now at the moment. So
So how do you feel about CSK's chances this year? There are a lot of questions on the age, the strength of the team, Raina. How do you feel?
this season is giving me the 2018 vibes. So all the things, all the questions were there, the same questions with also with of course Rana and Bhaji missing, but you see the players performing well, Raidu performing well, Faf performing well. Sam Curran is an interesting aspect. Very excited. I'm very excited about him. So yeah, I feel we have a good chance this season also. So
Yeah, it's amazing how these guys who are nearing 40, I believe
yeah,
Imran Tahir is over 40. How do
yeah,
they keep themselves so fit and motivated? As I was talking with Sapan earlier, these guys don't even have that motivation of trying to get back into an international team like many others do in the IPL. So it's
yeah,
amazing, very
yeah.
inspiring to see the CSK team. You can't write them off. 10 out of 10 playoffs. You can't write them
Yeah,
off.
yeah. So as I said, that's where the experience comes in. So yeah, hoping for the best as a CSK fan, as a Dhoni fan. So yeah, let's see how it goes in this season.
Right. Here comes Bumrah straight into Raidu's helmet. Looks
Yeah. So yeah,
It's a
looks
good,
a bit.
good.
Yeah.
He has composed his inning very nicely.
Yeah, didn't let the required rate go too high. So well played. Raidu has played well till now.
Are you surprised at all, Robin, by Raidu's role? Because when Raina gone missing, someone had to take that role
Yeah,
on himself.
I certainly didn't expected Raidu to do this well. So yeah,
100 runs
that's a
partnership
little
came
bit
up.
of yeah. So
Well, I'll be
these guys, I feel these guys need to finish it off. So it will be great if they can finish it off.
But
I'll be
being a Rat,
yeah. Go ahead, Sapan.
yeah, so being a Ranchi boy, you would like to see a Ranchi boy batting, or you are very much happy if these two can finish the job for CSK?
I, as a Dhoni fan, I'd like him to come and finish it off. So, but if these two can finish it off, it's even better. So, a win-win situation for me here.
What a shot. What a shot. I mean, these two have not tried too hard, isn't it, Robin? They have not
Yeah,
tried too hard. These have been,
yeah,
except a few shots from Raidu recently when he was trying to do unconventional things. These two have played some proper cricket. In fact, look at Faf. He's 37 of 33.
yeah. So
He's
and yeah, and this shows how good MS was in assessing the conditions. So he told at the press conference that there might be some dew later in the innings. So yeah, and we can see Krunal and Rahul Char struggling. I saw Rohit using the towel. So
And that's a big factor you mentioned, Robin. MSD, his captaincy, because this is,
yeah,
we were just talking before you entered, this is a ground very similar to what they would be used to. They're used to 150,
yeah,
160 at their home conditions.
yeah, and also the ground is quite big when we compared it to the grounds here in India, and so and with the spinners coming into the play with the big size, so it's even more advantage to the CSK side. So
Well, no matter what the conditions and the score and everything, one thing I can say, Robin and Sapan, that whenever Mahendra Singh, as we have a close call on the run out, I think he's safe, Raidu there.
yeah,
Whenever MSD is there, you barely sense any, a sense of failure. You feel like he'll carry the team through. He'll somehow make it. Like you don't see CSK not doing very well, no matter what team it is. He will somehow bring everyone together. And Raidu was very well in there, safe.
yeah,
MSD
and
factor, that's what I'm talking about, Robin, which is what you mentioned. I believe that's a big factor in this IPL.
yeah, and with you see while CSK were bowling, they were only five bowlers. They had only five bowlers. So the way he rotated the bowlers after NGD going for runs, that was something else. That was something MS Dhoni would do. So only MS Dhoni can do so. Yeah, persisting with Jadeja and Ngidi, any other captain would have just removed them from the attack, gone with some part timers or the other bowlers, but he rotated them very well. So and that worked too. So yeah, the
That's a
MS factor.
And
that is an
Yeah,
excellent point. That is an excellent point because if one of your, even if he's your key bowler, goes for 30 of 2 overs, you're probably looking at the sixth bowler who is going to make up those 2 overs or at least an
yeah,
over.
and with Raina out and all the overseas slots almost booked with Ngidi playing. So and with only five bowling options. So yeah, he
that's not good
that's how
bowling.
yeah. So that's how it's going to be for CSK. So yeah, Dhoni is completely free now from international and all the other stuff, so he can totally focus on his side here. So yeah, and we can see Bumrah going about 10.5 per overs in this match. So you know how they are batting dominantly, these two.
Is it the deuce happen or Mumbai not
I think it's
going up with the ball?
yeah, I think it's both the scenarios. Like due factor is there, as we were speaking earlier as well. Compared to CSK spinners, these Mumbai Indian spinners are less experienced. Plus, they don't have that street smartness when it's compared to Piyush Chawla, Ravindra Jadeja, and who can survive like Ravindra Jadeja? We have seen him since 2009. The way he has kept himself busy in Indian 11, you just cannot think of a replacement of Ravindra Jadeja. So same time, we have seen also like you guys were discussing about this MSD factor. So in cricket, they have brought now two three types of factor. Others are X factors and rest is MSD factor. So that he has proved by his cool calmness, composure over the years, whether it is in Indian jersey or yellow jersey.
Yeah, I saw him at the second strategic timeout just before Ngidi changed the game. CSK restricted Mumbai Indians. He was talking to Ngidi, MSD. He was putting something in his ears. So whatever it was, it did make a difference.
And this is who will be missing. Like we have seen, I have seen
Yeah,
him.
and
Of,
now it
yeah, go ahead, Robin. Sorry. Dropped.
Oh, what an
no,
attempt.
yeah.
What an attempt by Krunal Pandya. As Raidu reverse sweeps, it was in the air, diving Pandya,
Mm.
dropped. But 45 or
Yeah,
28,
ha-
something, I get a feeling this could go really down to the wire. It's not all done and dusted for Mumbai Indians yet.
yeah, that's what I was saying. So Bumrah has 1 over left. Then they don't have any death bowling options because Trent bowled against MS Dhoni. We all know he just trashes ball. And Pattinson, we have to see how he bowls at that death. So Bumrah's over and this over of Rahul Chahar and one of Krunal will be the deciding factor in my opinion because the batters will look to attack Krunal and Chahar. So yeah,
I think
let's see how it goes.
What a shot from Faf there. It looked like it had
Yeah.
gone a long distance. It had not really gone anywhere. In fact, fall short of the long on fielder.
these are the similar conditions where they used to play in IPL.
Right.
Chepauk conditions are the same.
Yeah.
So you're
With some
Robin,
due,
you're okay finishing this game with us here?
yeah, no issues.
It's your call.
That's high in the air. That's high in the air, and he's gone.
That's a very good catch.
Ryder
Yeah,
was
so
playing for this kind of shots from last 2 overs, and I think that's where you were talking, Prakash. This
yeah, so
he
some
was
twist
he
in the
started playing unconventionally.
yeah, some twist in the tail. So
So Robin, I was saying it's getting very close. We would love for us to call this game together here, but it's really your call.
no, I'm fine being
You're
here.
good. Yeah, let's do that. This is getting to be a close game. 40 from
Yeah,
24 on this track doesn't look like an easy thing to do, especially if you're just walking in. And I don't recall having a Hardik Pandya or a Pollard in CSK who can come and smash a six of the second or third ball.
Yeah, so now Bolt's over and Krunal's over are very, very crucial in the result, deciding the result of this game. So let's see how it goes, who comes out, how they
It,
approach the innings. So
yeah, it reminds me also the first game of 2018 when chips were down and we were seeing like we do. CSK don't have the far players who can hit long, and then all of a sudden Kedar Jadhav came out of the injury and he played two brilliant shots, and then Dwayne Bravo finished up. So they have luxury, but as we can see, Ravindra Jadeja has been sent up in the order.
yeah, to
Interesting call
counter
that.
Krunal, that's some strategic move, I guess.
Yes, yes.
So I hope that Jadeja doesn't choke this up. So let's hope
Well,
for the best.
one thing is for sure. Whoever is in, even Duplessis, they won't be looking to take this game deep. Like they won't be, no matter what MSD is thinking in the dugout, but they won't be trying to
Yeah,
take it very deep. They have to
yeah,
go
yeah.
right away.
That's
They have to go after the bowling, no matter who is coming. It's Pattinson for his
yeah.
final
So
over,
it
3 overs for
yeah
14 with a wicket so far.
I think we will not
mm,
see a Krunal Pandya anymore because this will be the 17th over. So after that, two Trent Bolts and one from Bumrah is what we are going to see.
no.
That's a
Bolt
loose
has only
ball.
one.
That's gone for four.
Bolt has only one left.
That was not a very good ball on the legs, on the leg stump.
Mm,
Easy, easy four
yeah,
for Jadeja.
Yeah, you're right, Robin. It's my bad. Yeah, you're right. Bolt is so. Yeah, we will have one more over here and there for someone.
no. We haven't seen Hardik bowling yet, so that can also be a option for Rohit. So
Yeah,
Here comes
they need
Pattinson.
to attack
again on the
this
leg
over
side.
and
Yeah, I think they should target
Jadeja
James
would
Pattinson and Trent Bolt. They should target them.
yeah Pattinson Bolt and Pattinson Bolt and Krunal or Hardik whoever bowls, so they don't have to attack or take too much risk against Bumrah. So yeah, let's see how it goes.
This game can go anywhere in the next 10 balls. Tight 10
Yeah,
balls, even a wicket, couple of wickets, or 10 balls going for, say, 15, 20 runs. This can swing either way.
yes, it can.
So, sometimes it's very important when do you pick whom to bowl because everyone has an over left, four of the bowlers. So here comes Pattinson, slower ball, just pulled towards mid wicket, and they run two.
This is a very common picture when Jadeja is on the crease. You will see faster running between the wickets.
Yeah, they need to give Bumrah very less runs if they want to win easily. So
Allah is warming up.
yeah, Sam Curran can also bat, so they can
Yes,
afford to
yes.
take some risks against the remaining three bowlers.
Even Kedar is a good option.
Yeah, Kedar, MS, Sam Curran, and these two. So five options. Chahar can also swing it. So
Chahar can also swing it. Yeah, who can
Chawla
forget
too.
that man? Yeah.
So
Yeah, Hardik Pandya is an interesting option you mentioned because it could be a very risky move to bring a
ah
spinner
man. Ah. Oh
because Krunal Pandya has an over left. So it'll be interesting if he bowls that or not, Sapan, like you said.
yeah,
That's in the air, on the
yeah.
offside,
That's
slashed. Three fielders.
quite lucky.
Is in between.
So
Wow. It's right in the middle of three fielders.
It's far
how many affairs?
so
34.
exactly in between that three.
34 needed of 20. It's not going to be an easy finish for you, Robin.
Yeah,
Do you feel
one
that?
good over. Yeah, one good over and CSK is in. So
And
poor
Mumbai Indians would be
bowling.
feeling one good over and we are in because 34 of 20, the ball is
Yeah,
not
so
coming on the bat. So
yeah, poor
Faf's
bowling
role
from.
is very important.
Yeah, so the problem for Mumbai is that Bumrah is the
That's
only one,
four.
only
That's four.
yeah, only good death bowler for them. So uh, so it will be interesting to see if Rohit uses Bumrah right after this over or saves him for later. So yeah, quite a risky move for him.
Rohit Sharma is not going to be very happy with a couple of the deliveries this over. A free
Yeah,
gift on the leg stump and now a full toss on the off stump. Two boundaries for Jadeja in three balls he has faced, and both of those balls have been sort of gifts at this stage of the match.
yeah,
Pattinson with the final delivery of his spell finishes
That,
just with a single, so that leaves 29 to get of three overs. 29 of three overs. The big question would be who bowls this over, this very important 18th over, because this could decide how much is left in the game beyond that.
I feel they should try to get at least 20, 18, 20 runs at least in the remaining two overs, so they don't have to go around 10, 12 in Bumrah's over if he's bowling the last over.
So this game is going to the last over. We are sure
Yeah,
about that. We'll be very surprised if they get 29 of two overs. So this
it
yeah.
game is
seems
going to the last over. The question is who bowls that and how many runs remain.
If this over gets for runs, then Bumrah will be bowling the 19th, I guess.
It is Krunal Pandya. It
Yeah,
is Krunal Pandya
Kunal
bowling
Pandya.
this.
Yes.
It's a very risky move for me. What do you guys say? Very
yeah,
risky move for me.
yeah. So the
It's a
left
bold
hand
move.
orthodox
It's bold move.
against, yeah. So Jadeja should target him. Quicker ball. Ah, that was quicker ball.
So Mumbai Indians will be happy if they can keep this to say 8 runs and over without. Oh, that
Yeah,
looks close. That is out.
Out, out. Oh, no.
Looks so close. That bold move, the risky move has worked so far.
yeah. Jadeja should have attacked him instead of turning it down into the leg side. So that was
That was
club.
very cleverly bowled. That was very well cleverly bowled. He knew that if he will give some sort of air to Jadeja, he will make most of it. But that's very well bowled.
That's as plumb as it gets. Right in the middle of stumps, trying to play across the line, completely misses. Well, I was saying Mumbai Indians would be hoping that Krunal Pandya can keep it to, say, 8 runs in over,
Yeah,
leaving
that
somewhere around 20
that
for the
will.
last two overs.
Yeah,
Sam Curran comes in.
that's yeah expected move. So Sam Curran to target the lefty. So
Again, this is Dhoni himself who is keeping himself behind all the players.
yeah, so
Is he interested in?
Dhoni is waiting for Bolt, I guess.
You're right, maybe, but I'm not seeing anything why he should keep himself waiting.
Yeah, teams are too much into matchups this season. So left arm spinner against. So yeah, going with the left arm batter against the left arm spinner. So yeah, that can be a move. What I feel.
So, who bowls the next over for you? Well, I think we have five deliveries to go. That would change a lot of things. But at this
Yeah.
stage, who bowls the next over for you? It's now we know it's between Bumrah and Bolt.
Yeah. So Dhoni strikes at 234 against Bolt. So yeah,
I see.
Faf
So,
Faf
so it's going
will
to be
take
an interesting
this.
battle if
Yeah.
Dhoni has to come in.
And Dhoni strikes at 125 against Bumrah. So you know,
Look at this guy's strike rate. Sam Curran.
once yeah, Faf will
He
Not
take
has
many
risk
done
runs,
in this.
wonders for England.
right? Not many runs in the IPL.
Krunal Pandya is bowling.
95 runs, but a
Yeah.
strike rate of 172.
Krunal is
Incredible.
bowling Yorkers. So
What a great over this has been from Krunal Pandya. All three deliveries. There's nothing the
yeah,
batsman could do in terms of swinging their arms, giving nothing away. Two singles and a wicket.
that's six. That's six from Sam Curran. Great strike.
That's a great shot, really great shot. And that was gift actually. He was trying to yoke it, but Sam Curran made a full use of it.
He missed his length
Yeah,
altogether.
completely.
Full
Yeah.
toss.
Yeah, I've been saying this for long that Sam Curran should replace Bravo in the 11th this season.
That's a bold call there, but you may be right.
Yeah, Bravo is
I was
Bravo is
thinking
not
of
that bad
replacing
in
him
the
with Murli
bat
Vijay.
order.
I was thinking of replacing
Yeah,
him with Murli
in the
Vijay and
next
give him a opening slot
yeah
because he has opened for his county
four,
seasons.
another four, another four by Sam Curran. So yeah, Sam Curran opens for
That's a
what
bad
team it
ball.
plays. I don't.
So if you look at the last 2 overs, it has been really bad bowling on part of Mumbai Indians. On the legs, outside off, full
Yeah,
tosses.
that's
This was
yeah,
a
that
short
can be
ball.
because of the dew. The bowlers are not able to control the ball. So
So the dew has been a factor. The dew has
yeah,
been a factor because
another
everything we are seeing
oh,
is going to be so
and straight
relevant to the games going forward. I'm
yeah.
surprised the anchor is
So
still saying 50-50 CSK Mumbai Indians. This is Chennai's game now. Another full
yeah,
toss.
so
Gets away with it, only a single.
straight yeah. So I was saying that Shardul Thakur should come in and Sam Curran should replace Vijay at the top in the next game.
I would
My
love to
thinking.
give Imran Tahir.
Totally.
Well,
Yeah. So
let
with
me just
with
ask you
playing
guys. I mean,
Tahir, we have to
let me just
yeah, yeah.
ask you guys, isn't too early for changing up things? Like, would you not want to give him another shot or two for a role he has been given?
Yes. So with CSK, you don't exactly see too many changes, but
True.
I don't see Murli Vijay scoring some runs. So either Ruturaj Gaikwad if he is fit, or Shardul Thakur and Sam Curran to open. So that will be the two options if you ask me. No, I won't go with Murli Vijay for the whole, or give him a long run in the tournament.
Interesting. So here we are, 16 needed of 2 overs. That was an expensive over
Yeah,
from
And the boom
Mumbai.
boom Bumrah.
It is Bumrah bowling the 19th.
yeah. So if they can get at least eight eight to 6 to 8 runs, that will be great in this over.
And how many would you want as a CSK fan, Robin? How many do you want in this over from
And that
Bumrah?
and that and that in this over I want 8 to 10 or minimum 6 runs, six to 8 runs. That's all.
So basically, you don't want to leave anything more than 6 for Bumrah.
Yeah,
This is This could get really close if Bumrah
Sam
can.
Curran hits it for a six. Sam Curran hits it for a six. Oh man, that's that's why I'm saying Curran should play ahead of Bravo.
Oh my goodness.
That's the game. That is the game there. I think that may be the final nail. Less than run a ball at this stage. So
Yeah,
Bumrah has really struggled. Bumrah has really struggled today.
yeah, that,
It
yeah.
can't be the due.
That's because of the long break, or as we mentioned, due, or yeah, too many factors here. So Sam
But how
Curran
well has Sam Curran
is an
played?
exciting player, man.
How well has Sam Curran
Yeah,
played?
I'm saying this before. He's out there. Scoops, catch out. Good, well taken by Pattinson. Tried to scoop it over the final fielder.
Oh, that's very well catch by Pattinson.
But
That's very well,
Yeah,
nicely done.
just one good shot.
but you would think
Yeah,
Sam
that
Curran
just
has
one
done his
good
job.
shot.
Sam
Yeah,
Curran,
absolutely done his job.
6 balls,
Yeah, so
18 runs.
I don't see.
He has won them the
Yeah,
match.
I would have never imagined. Yeah, never imagined Bravo doing something like this. The current Bravo of 2020. So
So
MS is in.
you have made a very bold uh, stated a bold argument here, Robin, that Bravo, who has been part of CSK's backbone all these years, he should be replaced with Sam Curran this season as first choice, middle order
Yeah,
all round.
so yeah, that's only because Rana is absent. So and too much pressure on MS at lower down the order, and you guys saw how current plays. So that's a no-brainer if you ask me. With the Bravo's current form with the bat, so
So I'll
you
let
have
you
to take
guys
some
soak
bold
in.
calls.
I'll let you guys soak in this moment as MS Dhoni is there in the middle for the first
But
time.
I'm just saying, I'm not counter arguing you, Robin, but I'm just saying that these days Bravo is winning games by bowling more often than he's with his
Yeah,
batting. So that is also a big
yeah,
point, which if you cannot include him, that bowling and everything, you'll have to again rethink. You'll have
yeah,
to re-strategize. So that
yeah.
is
So
why I think
yeah, so
I would like to have both Karan as well as Bravo in my 11.
then you have to four. That's a four from far over cover. Match done and dusted here. Bumrah's been poor. Due, you can see Rohit, the due effect.
So this turned out to be an easier chase than we were expecting at the start of the innings. One thing stays constant
And
that Mumbai
that's where
Indians find hard to win their first game every season. Mumbai Indians
yeah.
very
So
hard to win their first game, no
and
matter where they
also
are playing.
also that's where the experience of the CSK players come in handy. So if young players were batting at the moment, we may have seen them panicking or throwing it away, but you see how cool Faf is there, or Sam Curran. Even if he is very young, Sam Curran is there. So
Wonderfully anchored inning by Faf du Plessis.
yeah,
Always played a second fiddle.
yeah, yeah. And coming back onto that Bravo point, my point of not including him in was that he was bowling in the deaths over in the CPL. So CPL, the grounds where I know there are only three stadiums here, but in CPL there were only two, and continuous matches were played. And also
Yeah,
the quality of CPL is not that like of IPL. So you see, IPL is at another level. Anyone
I
can hit
agree. I
Bravo.
agree. I agree. I agree. But he has more than he has proved himself. Like he's a fantastic death bowler. But yeah, considering an age and everything, that is why I said that
Dhoni,
I'm not counter arguing. But it's a very
Dhoni,
bold statement as well.
Dhoni is Dhoni has been given out. Dhoni has been given out, and he reviews.
So, guys, here is the first
He
ball
looks
Dhoni
confident.
faced in
He
front
looks damn confident,
of
man.
us in a very long
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
First ball since that run out in World Cup semi-final last year.
Ah, that's. I don't see. I don't think it's hit and touched anything. So, oh
Oh,
man, that's close.
it's uh,
Yeah,
it's
that's.
nowhere close to the
Yeah,
bat. It's nowhere close to the bat or the
I don't.
gloves
Yeah,
from the front
I
angle.
don't. Yeah, I don't know how he gave that out. That too in the absence of crowd. So
But virtual noise is there.
that's for us now.
Nothing there.
Yeah. So I just tweet Dhoni review system.
Yeah, one DRS beat another DRS.
Hmm.
That is so right. But one thing for sure, Robin, Sapan,
Yeah,
performance of Chennai Super Kings today has shown that they can't be just written off. Even if
Yeah.
they may not have the strongest of team, but they have, as Sapan had said
Yeah.
earlier, they have the fighters in their team.
Yeah.
And
MS as usual taking his time. 5 runs in the last over.
so that's the end of the Bumrah over. Mixed returns, I would say. Chennai would be happy they got 11 runs of the over.
Yeah, MI
yeah.
would be disappointed because Sam Curran was always going to hit. So, yeah, Chennai advantage here in this over.
But what an innings Sam Curran played. If you can even call it an innings of 6 balls. He turned the
Yeah,
match.
striking
Because
at
when he walked in, remember,
striking at
40
300 hit.
something. 40 to
Yeah,
get in 4 overs is not an easy task at this wicket.
And that's the beauty of this
and I
game. See, people even if they are playing just 4 or 5 balls, but the amount of score, the amount of damage they are causing, that is why these innings are called as cameos rather than a beautifully constructed innings or a
That's
pinch
true.
hitting or something like that.
and
That is right.
yeah,
So,
and you also see the players picked by CSK when we see around the auction. We no one was rating Chawla or Sam Curran that highly, but MS knows how he wants to use the players. So yeah, that's another MS masterclass.
so I think Mumbai Indians have not left too many runs for Trent Bolt to defend. Just 5 to get 6 balls.
That's a four, bro. That's a four. That's a four. Over point. Faf has done it. Very
So
poor from
Faf,
Rohit that they went with Bolt at the death over. So yeah,
yeah, I would have, in the hindsight, I asked you that question. That's a
Exactly.
very
Yeah.
good shot by Duplessis for 4. The scores are level. Now, going back, I asked you that question, Robin, not so long ago about who will bowl the 19th over when it was a choice between Bumrah and Bolt. Because for me, 19th over is the
yeah.
more
So
important one than the 20th over. It's a question of how many do you want to leave.
yeah. So yeah. So that was a tactical error from Rohit's side. If you ask me, he could have bowled Hardik Pandya instead of Bolt's this over, or Pandya could have bowled one more over than what he has bowled now. So
Or
yeah,
Trent Bolt
that's
could have bowled
that's
the 19th
one.
over because he had a much better day than Bumrah. And then you see
Yeah,
left for the last
Faf
over. You could
finishes it
honestly
off.
get call at that time. Well, Mumbai Indians,
Yeah.
they will
So
not be very happy with their bowling performance as Faf finishes the match with a boundary on the mid wicket square leg region, stays unbeaten. What an innings! What a matured innings. Even from a T20 standpoint, this has been from Faf. Now, Dhoni is there at the end. He
yeah,
didn't have to do much, but it's a great sight. Robin and Sapan, both of you are big CSK fan. What a great sight to see MS Dhoni on the field on a winning side.
yeah, yeah. So this
This
year is
is
absolutely giving me the same vibe as 2018. So
So you feel good about this season with CSK? They will make it to the final four for sure.
because this is again a very
yeah,
bold
so we are
statement
all,
which he has made. Like 2018, absolutely vibes are the same, but situations are different. Well, good statement, Robin. I like that.
yeah. So yeah.
No,
so
I feel good
so yeah,
about CSK.
I'm very confident that we are playing all the 16 games as usual. So yeah, I also feel good because you see match experience is something else, and you need that in the side. And with with all the players in the CSK except Sam Curran, Deepak Chahar, and everyone is experienced. I guess Murli Vijay has also played for around 10 years in the IPL. So you see the team has experience, and with Watson and Vijay going early, you see how well Raidu and Faf paced their innings, how well they rebuilt the innings. So yeah, CSK looks good, and again the Dhoni factor there. So I'm very confident this season, and with the and very happy that we won against Mumbai Indians. So
It was a great day. In fact, CSK looks to be a very good team, especially the way they are coming together. And two people in your team, one is MS Dhoni, the other one is Ambati Raidu.
Raidu, yeah,
These two people remind us of how unjust things have been, especially over the last year or so to these two people. Like Raidu was left out of the World Cup team, then Dhoni was left out beyond that after that team, and we don't know how he was dealt with. Eventually, he called his retirement just ahead of the IPL. So,
yeah. So
not on those terms, it hasn't been a very good year for those two guys in CSK, but it's great to see them doing so well. In fact, Raidu's innings today raises those questions again. Where was he last year? Why wasn't he there last year? Would have made a
yeah,
difference.
yeah. So that's again comes to the management or how the think tank thinks about a certain player. But then again, I would like to mention one thing that you see players performing well in CSK than what we expect them to, and that's the main reason that's because of the team environment that CSK gives to his player to their players. So yeah, that's another point. I think that's very important in CSK's success over the years, that they have a very good environment. The players feel like family here. The fans too. Credit goes to the fans too. So if you see Sam Curran when he was picked by CSK, everyone went accepted him happily over social media or whatever way they can. So you see this creates a nice environment for a player to perform, and he himself wants to perform there. So
Well
something
said.
different
Yeah.
with how Dhoni goes. Yeah, how Dhoni goes with his approaches things. So quite unorthodox, but they work for him. So
So, final words from you, Sapan. That's very well said, Robin.
yeah,
What I would like to say is the match had Mahendra Singh Dhoni's stamp on it. He didn't have to do much with the bat, but the way he led the team, the way the team came together and performed in such a nice, brilliant fashion, it had MSD's leadership stamp on the team. So, final words from you, Sapan.
Yeah, I think it's MSD's brilliance. The way he handled the pressure after the initial hookup that he got, and the way Quinton de Kock and Rohit Sharma started. He handled these bowlers very well, and the way Lungi Engidi comes back was fantastic. Enough credit needs to be given to Ambati Rayudu and Faf Duplessis as well, because they anchored the innings brilliantly. And I think 10, 15 runs here and there would really made a difference. If not a huge difference, but it was certainly could have made a big difference, because um, from the Mumbai Indians bowling, I didn't see that it was all rusty performance, but there was a due factor which has played his part. So overall, absolutely, like it's an MSD stamp on the first match of 13th edition of IPL.
Correct. Anything else from you, Robin? Like what can CSK take
Nah,
away forward? Anything you noted that you
and
didn't
it
say so far?
so no, nothing like that. Because even if I say something, then MS will do something extraordinary with it. So I just want I just want Sam Curran to play all the 14 games and Murli Vijay to be kicked out and Sam Curran opening or Ruturaj opening. So that's my wish list, bucket list for the remaining games if everyone's fit. So and then everything will be handled by the man himself. So I'm a happy camper now.
So happy CSK fan there from Ranchi, and he doesn't want Murli Vijay in the team. That part was clear. So, but what a match
Yeah.
from CSK, from Mumbai Indians. Uh, we loved watching it together, talking about it. We definitely learned something about the UAE conditions. It's not going to be those easy 200 wickets. It may fall very
Yeah,
well in
and
the 150,
yeah,
170 bracket.
and yeah, yeah. And with due around, so teams will have to be smart with their picks and how they approach the game. So
That is true. It may, the
always
toss may
have to,
become a big
yeah,
factor here. The toss may become a
yeah,
big factor.
always have to score 10, 15 more runs than what they have targeted or aimed. So yeah, what that's how it will be. That's the beauty of IPL. That's all the 8 teams are competitive, and we are in for a great 2 months. So
Right. That part is for sure that all the 8 teams are very well balanced. It's going to be a very competitive tournament. In the hindsight, I believe Mumbai Indians were aware, probably aware of the due factor because they had been practicing there. And that's why they might have known that 160, 170 is a par score, but they were trying to get that extra 10, 15 runs that you mentioned, Robin. And that's
yeah,
what sometimes when you try to go for too many, you fall short of your target. So they may have been shooting for 180 and they eventually fell somewhere around 160 in an attempt to go even higher. So there are lessons learned there. This is what the IPL in UA is going to be patterned around, the kind of scores, the kind of chase we're going to see. We're going to have some due, looks like. But a very good performance overall, a great start by Mumbai Indians earlier in the day. CSK fought back well. CSK were in trouble initial on. It looked like we're going to have a very close or maybe a one-sided match with Mumbai Indians. But what an innings. There are not enough words to describe what Raidu did and what Faf did. A brilliant partnership between them, and cherry on the cake that we got to see Mahendra Singh Dhoni on the field after a very long
yeah,
time towards the end.
yeah. So absolutely. And I
So
see MICSK final in 2022. So
there you go. Another call made by Robin Rounder for 2020. We had a cracker of a match, a very competitive match. These are two biggest brands in IPL, two biggest fan followings. We had a great game, and Robin is calling these two teams to be in the final in 2 months' time. So thank you all for joining No Boundaries Live. This is a platform which is for Share the Trophy to keep that voice alive, to ICC for sharing World Cup 2019 trophy. You can also come talk as we talk around the IPL and things beyond IPL around the match. It's open to all fans. You can come in, commentate, and be with No Boundaries. So I'm Prakash Wadhwa along with Robin Rounder, who was joining us from Ranchi, and Sapan Dholakia from Gujarat, India. Signing off. We will see you next time. Thank you, Robin. Thank you, Sapan.
Thanks,
thanks,
Prakash.
Prakash.
It
Joining
was
in.
fun.
Hope this was
Enjoyed.
fun.
Yeah. That
Brilliant,
was
brilliant.
absolutely fun. So
We'll
yeah,
we'll meet again. Take care, guys,
yeah,
and
yeah,
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 fun.
we'll see all of you next time. Bye.
yeah.
Sure. Have a
Bye,
nice
bye.
day, Prakash. Bye.
Yeah, see ya, guys.
Mhm.